Hey, welcome to Shadesong Saga, Episode 7, The Well. This is our third episode of this saga. Here tonight, the final one of this particular saga. So I predict a lot of mayhem and other craziness to carry us through to the finish line on this one. Very stoked that you're all here watching us. My name is Bleakseason. I'm the creator of the Shadesong Saga and one of the producers at Guild Superior. Wow, I just totally like. It's okay, leave it in. We'll fix it in post.
Fix it in post.
I totally just lost my train of thought. I'm like, what? There was something I wanted to say, and I totally forgot. Anyways, yes. So yes, that's what I want to do. Wow, I'm having difficulties tonight, guys. Thank God. This is pre-recorded. All right. What I want to do was this. I want to catch you up on what's happened so far. But perhaps before I do that, perhaps we should meet our players because we have some incredible players in this particular game. And we have a new friend tonight joining us for this particular session. However, who knows what he's playing. Perhaps a Tarask with short arms. What did you call it, Tim? Tarask Rex?
There you go.
There you go. Perhaps that is what he's playing. We'll find out soon enough. In any case, hey guys, how you doing?
Hey.
Howdy.
This has started out really, really well. So I have no clue what's going to happen at this point. It could really go any which way. What was that film with Clint Eastwood? Any Which Way But Loose. That's it.
It might get a little loose. We'll see.
Just a little. Speaking of loose.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that one.
He's like the juice. He's on the loose. His name is Scooz. That doesn't really rhyme, but hey, Scoozy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm much better. And it's I'm honored that you made a little poem about me. I'm Scooz News or Scoozy, and I have been having a blast playing with everybody in this weird little world that we find ourselves in. You can find me on Twitter and stuff at Scooz News. I play Osh, the warlock, more like tentative peace lock. Not really willing, but
the peace lock. I like that. So, what would be a door lock then? Warlock who specializes in portals. Hey, Kevin. On that, it's going so well tonight. How you doing?
We're doing great.
Save me! I'm drowning. I'm silent. Save me, Kevin. How you doing?
Good. We're all in this together. Not to worry, my friend. We're in this together. Yeah, I'm Kevin, and I can be found online at KevRan Games. And tonight I'm returning as your favorite cleric and mine, the War Priest Fane, who is the pseudo Big Brother type character to these other fine folks, but he has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. So let's see how that plays out tonight, shall we?
These wayward youths, basically.
Oh, yes.
Keep a tight rein on them. Tim.
Speaking of wayward youths.
Wayward youths.
Yeah, I'm Tim. You can find me on Twitter as Flan Blackmore. I am playing Eno, the bard, who is finding a bit of a backbone, still very much a coward, and kind of thinking he's in a really bad place, and he's not sure he's going to make it.
But he is in love.
I mean, I've known her for like 5 seconds, and she's been unconscious for half of it. So,
yeah.
And it's not as bad as it sounds. Like he didn't.
He's not that kind of bard. It's really not
as bad exactly. He's a well-behaved bard.
Yeah,
which in itself is a rarity enough. Next up, we have the inimitable Travis. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited tonight, and having a great time with you guys. So you can find me on Twitter as Skane Eversalt, and tonight I'm playing as Butcher. I guess I would consider the guy who has the least bucks to give in terms of everything that goes around him. Very much a selfish person, but you know, he keeps some things close to heart, I'm sure. Remains to be seen. You know, we have a whole session ahead of us, so we'll see what happens.
Who knows what might happen. Cool. Super stoked to have you. Again, one of my games, Travis. Always awesome. Thank you so much for playing with us. And finally, the man, the myth, the legend, Tyler, here tonight, playing some secret character. Tyler, tell us about you, please.
You can. I'm online, Twitter, Twitch at Tythalanos. Just kind of online, being a nerd, playing games. But I had the luck and the opportunity to be in Shadesong's earlier, or Bleakseason's earlier Shadesong games. So I'm excited to see where the world is at as of this story. But yeah, I'm a secret character to be named possibly later.
Oh, it'll definitely be named. It'll just depend on whether or not the other players are happy or sad. Thanks so much for agreeing to come in and do this for us, Tyler. You're gonna unfortunately be sitting there for a little while watching us nerd out, but we will get to you eventually, and hopefully it'll be full of fun. Guys, again, thank you so much. It's been a blast playing this with you. I look forward to seeing what sort of hijinks we get up to tonight. But first, before we get on to that, a couple of words. I'd like to say thank you to some people who deserve to be thanked. We got our music tonight thanks to Syrinscape. Our maps are by the incredible animated dungeon maps, whose Patreon link should be popping up in the thing next to us. Also, thanks to Hero Forge for the minis, the beautiful little minis that we have. And finally, I would like to give my heartfelt thanks to Andy for producing for us. Thank you very much, Andy. Always nice to see you, for producing these ones and the future ones. As we continue after this, we will move on to another saga, but Andy continues. He's like the power of death. He just keeps going through the saga. Also thanks to our guru Dave and all the other members of the production team at the Superior Adventurers Guild, where you're watching this right now, for giving us the room and the wherewithal to put all this together and to nerd out and have some fun. That out of the way, let's do a little recap as to what's been going on in this Saga 7 of the Shadesong Saga, called The Well. We are now at episode 3, the last and final of this particular one. We will be continuing without missing a beat next week with another 3-part saga that will begin with a whole new cast and whole new characters in a whole different part of the world. You can read all about the other sagas that we've done, all the other characters, all that information at bleakseason.com, which is my journal where I keep a live record of everything that goes on in the world of Saga. And you can see the maps and read about the cultures and so on and so forth. All the information is there. Finally, I'm Bleakseason, the Bleakseason, on Twitter. Find me there if you want to, if you're not afraid. But enough of this chit-chat. Let us get into the game. Let's see what's going on so far in this story about the well. The players found themselves in a dire situation. So they were assigned what was supposed to be a simple mission to create chaos. Members of the Grey Eldrin race, they have lived all their lives in the underground ruins of the city of Urkala, oppressed by their Eldrin cousins from the top world. Having dedicated themselves to a growing rebellion, they were used to doing small odd jobs that were more nuisance than terrorism. So when it was revealed that Darkath, the leader of this rebellious movement, was returning to town to interfere in the courting of the Eldrin prince and his wife-to-be, the daughter of the human emperor, they saw their opportunity to really make their mark. However, the mission was more than they bargained for, and the magical rune they were supposed to activate to create distractions instead opened several portals through which the undead warlock Noir, his man-at-arms Davok, and a vast number of plague-spreading demons appeared. As they began fighting, the tide was temporarily turned when the Eldrin bard Cithriel used the power to counteract the effects of the plague. But this respite was short-lived, as Cithriel was felled by Noir. Now the group of Grey Eldrin find themselves allied with another group, this one of Eldrin, in attempting to reach the Well of Eternity before Noir and his forces do. The hope is that Cithriel, who is now infected with necrophage, can be cured and then use the power of the well to save the city. For those of you new to the world of Shadesong, the Eldrin have an artifact called the Well of Eternity that basically allows them to live almost forever, though currently it's capping out. The eldest ones are around 1,000 years old. And unfortunately, the Grey Eldrin don't get to benefit from this. But the power of this well infuses the entire city, in fact, the entire country of the Magisterium. And if it were to be corrupted by the necrophage, this living plague that turns people into dying and plague-spreading monsters, it could create havoc in the entire Magisterium. So the players here find themselves in a bit of a pickle, but perhaps they can help each other get through this. Basically, at the end of last session, the mage Unwilling Blackquill asked the players to guide the other Eldrin through the tunnels under the city of Vale to the Celestial Cave where the Well of Eternity is hidden, while he himself teleported outside of the city to go and get some help to bring back and try and cure Cithriel in the hope that she can in turn help cleanse the city. Now the group has stepped through a portal and found themselves back in Urkala, where all of this began, in the underground, in one of the ruins there, along with Kevon, who is Cithriel's brother, and two other Eldrin, Tayson, Moonshadow, a paladin, and Imbril, another bard, who has been having a few choice words with some of the members of the group. So, as you guys step through this portal from Andwill's weird sort of demi-plane where he took you to hide out there for a moment, you find yourself in a place you know well. It's one of the major ruins in the area, an ancient fountain, which is sort of, ironic, seeing as how you're about to go and seek a well. Here you have an old, cracked, empty, dried out fountain in the middle of this plaza, hopefully not a harbinger of things to come. Kevon is busy right now seeing to his sister, trying to make her comfortable for transportation because she is under the necrophage, which she was infected with, has been spreading. There's something about her, probably this power that she has, that she used to sing earlier, that is preventing it from spreading too quickly, so that she hasn't turned into a ravenous necrophage-splitting monster yet. But you can clearly see under her pale skin the black veins and the rot sort of starting to set in to her, and it's being contained to the upper part of her body, but it's certainly starting to spread, and she's having difficulty remaining conscious and active. And so Kevon is busy trying to get her ready. He has summoned a floating disc of some sort, and they're busy sort of putting her on there and making sure she's okay. And meanwhile, you find yourselves back home in the company of a group of Eldrin, whom just a few hours ago you were dead set on causing problems for. So what's happening? What's going on? What are you thinking?
Definitely not the welcome back that we were looking for, at least me, Fane, anyway. I was hoping to come back, proving myself to Darkath, and here we are questioning his methods and questioning whether or not we really still believe in this struggle. Basically, we were left to go on a suicide mission, the way that we kind of all see it. And although Fane is keeping that from the group, he does agree with his companions that this is a little bit sketch. This is a little bit mind-changing thought here. So,
all right.
Eno is gonna separate himself from the group a little bit, kind of go off on his own a little bit and try to like find a way into the empty cup and see if there's anybody around because he needs to find Tovin.
Unfortunately, and I'm sorry if I didn't make this very clear, you're not anywhere near the city itself. The Eldrin did not want to sort of just appear in the middle of the place and probably cause some further issues. So you would have been transported a little bit further out of the city, so you wouldn't end up encountering issues with the denizens of Urkala, basically. So I'm sorry I didn't make that clear.
Oh, that's all right. So the fountain is like an outskirt.
Yeah, exactly. It's like in one of the other ruins that there's like vast ruins. These things expand for miles and miles and miles in all direction. So you're in like a further one, one that connects to some of the tunnels that lead to the one entrance that exists to go to the Well of Eternity from Urkala.
Okay. Well, then in that case, he'll go off on his own for a second and write something on a piece of paper and stick it to the well, which is basically a wanted form for Tovin.
Good old Tovin.
With the like the bard's signature like flair.
Tovin, who kind of got you into some of this mess originally when he unfortunately, what happened with Tovin?
Yeah, he got himself seduced by an Eldrin bard, and then when he found out it was a lark, to use the word for the Eldrin, and not true feelings, he in a crime of passion stabbed and killed the Eldrin, stripped him, took his money, and then went and spent a bunch of it. And in the course of that relationship, involved by stealing his poems and giving them to the Eldrin bard to look at as though they were Tovin's. And so yeah,
I mean, murder we could excuse, but plagiarism,
that's the worst part for yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the plagiarism, and then the involvement in his illicit affair was unnecessary, and so there's a level of sloppiness that is just not acceptable. That is also on his ticket.
Very unprofessional behavior.
very much so.
This is why you should never date a musician. I mean, proof right there in the pudding.
Tovin was always a little bit of a screw up, though.
Yeah, well, this time he's screwed up a little too much.
All right, and
we don't know where he is.
We don't know where he is, but yeah, I'll be putting as far as I can make it. I'll be looking for him.
All right, how about you, Scooz? What's going on with Osh?
I think Osh's whole perspective on things is kind of shook up a bit. So I think coming out of the portal, Osh is going to kind of stand a bit apart. Not alone, just off to the side, watching them prepare Cithriel for moving and watching Eno kind of walk off, watching these Eldrin talk to one another in their like haughty, dismissive way, and just kind of like a little bit of that like knees wobbling is going to come back to him. And I think he just sort of like takes a couple of deep breaths and like looks down at his ring for a second, and then like looks away, like he like refuses to look at it for now, and just kind of scans the crowd of people again.
And very good. And Travis, how's Butcher feeling right now?
So the kind of body language I'd imagine is going on with him right now, as he stepped out into the, homelands here, looks annoyed, be a little irritated, a little agitated, kind of having that like done with this shit kind of pose to him. Uh, a bit of pacing amongst the group. He ends up, picking up a couple of rocks in the rubble and just toss them out. You hear the clatter and the echo in the distance. You get the sense that he just doesn't, it's not what he signed up for, but I mean, he did take the payment. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, I was singing, so I muted myself not to
Damn, I missed it.
turn away our audience. Yeah, so you see that Butcher seems to be having a little bit of a moment there. Perhaps a few kind of words could soothe your friend.
Yeah. As he comes back from the fountain, he's gonna be walking toward Butcher with purpose, and when he gets to him, he doesn't sound like the you know. He just says, Butcher, I will tell you where I have my stash. It is like 23 silver. I'll tell you where it is. If you promise, should I not live through what comes next, and you do, you will cut Tovin's throat.
I see how serious you are. I was expecting a lot more. I was expecting a lot more of an ass than that. Sure. I'd happily kick his ass.
No.
Oh no. Oh, you don't understand.
No, not kick
He's-
his ass.
Oh no, you don't understand. I think yeah, I get you.
Okay.
I get you.
Okay.
All right.
The stash is it is underneath the rock that is at the foot of my mat. You lift up my mat and you take the rock out, and that's the stash.
Oh.
It's like 23 gold or gold. I wish it was gold. It's silver. Yeah. From
Okay.
all of my playing, it is. I've been saving, so
Okay.
and honestly, Butcher, I just want Tovin to know he is dying by my hands, even from beyond the grave.
Okay. That sounds like a better idea here. Honestly, I just would have wrecked him just without having to say a word. But for that money, I will tell him who it's coming from.
Okay, that
Okay?
we find yes, good.
And you could just see like the demeanor he had before, like he was just like done with it, and it's just like his whole his whole self just kind of lit up because he was so amused by this offer. It was just like very. He was almost expecting that this is going to be more about this, this fucking Eldrin shit. It's like, this is just no. He's just thinking one more person is going to convince me that I need to sign up for this. No, and then you hand him that, and he's like, "All right, now you're talking my language."
Yes.
All right, 23 silver
It's in your wheelhouse.
for a message. Yeah, it's definitely in his wheelhouse.
Good.
I'll do it.
Good.
All right.
And if at all possible, and this is just if comes to, if you could do it with my sword, if you recover it, the final blow, you know what I mean. The one that puts his lights out is the one that I would like it to be my blade, but if I get torn apart, or if I get the plague thing and you have to like cut my head off and there's too many of us, and I get it. But if you can get my sword, use it to finish him.
All right. You're acting a little weird there, I mean, you doing all right?
I I think so. I'm I'm thinking I'm going to die.
Hmm.
So I am covering bases. You, I think you will live,
Look, man.
but
If it helps, I mean, I could tell you this much. It's one trick that I think always works
yes,
as you look out for yourself. Okay? You could survive this.
I could.
Don't
Yeah.
overextend. We're not fucking heroes here.
I know, not a hero, definitely not a hero. But I am not like you, Butcher. I like you, but I'm not like you. I am going to overextend. He shrugs.
Right? You know how I am with that.
I know.
Do
I'm
you?
not asking you to.
Yeah.
Please don't misunderstand. You look out for you like you do, and you will survive. And then you will finish what I should have done right away.
As long as you got that backup plan, I got you. All right?
Good.
All right. None of this dark shit. I think we're gonna need to get hyped up for this. All right?
Right. Well, I
Don't
mean,
let that drag you down.
what is death but the stopping of life? You know, it's fine.
Quote of the night. What is death? But the stopping of life?
I was gonna be expecting what is death but the motivation to live?
You know, it's the stopping of life.
It's the poet who said the lie too. Let us remember that one.
Right.
Anybody else want to
I will see you later, Butcher. I'm going to go see the girl I think I love, but I don't know because actually haven't talked to her. I think she said hi the one time, but I think I love her. So, and he walks over to Cithril.
poor boy, so
At
confused.
least buy her a drink. What, man? What have I taught you? Yeah, and then that would be the end of that conversation.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Anybody else want to take these last few moments to declare their undying love to somebody else or hire someone to kill other people?
I think Osh is going to sort of very like without knowing it, just be like constantly fiddling with his ring and kind of stride over to Fane and just kind of like kick his boot and like stand there and look in the same, like just kind of next to Fane, not approaching Fane, just kind of looking out wherever Fane is looking.
Yeah, when you approach, Fane's got he's got like these like kind of wraps, gauntlets kind of things, and he's kind of readjusting them on his main weapon hand. He's readjusting and kind of flexing a little bit. Has a little bit of a furrowed brow and looks up to see you. It's Pramash.
Oh,
Besides the obvious, obviously.
I mean, it is the obvious. Yes, we are here. We're back here. You seem so fond of Darkath and impressing this man. You have not met Darkath, correct?
I haven't met him, no, but I did see him once. He was graceful, strong. He looked the way a king should look. He just had a certain presence about him. And I knew that whatever he was leading, whatever sort of thoughts that he had, whatever sort of rebellion, it called to me. It called to me more than that spark that calls to all of us, that spark to fight, to war, to battle. Something felt right when I fought for the cause, you know?
Yeah. So you fight to feel that sense of just. Okay.
Of course. Butcher fights for fun. I fight for a purpose.
Butcher fights for money. Eno fights never.
That's true. He's a lover, not a fighter.
I fight to protect. And to protect the things that we, as like a little community or society, even as fucked up as it is down here. But we were sent to our deaths for this rebellion. We were not supposed to live. And that's on your man, your king, Darkath.
It is. I noticed. Don't worry. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure, as when we left, what our purpose in this might be now. And although I don't trust the Light Eld over there, I do know that what they're trying to do is just and right. They're trying to end necrophage in some way or another. Luckily, being Grey Elden, we are immune to its cause and its effect. So luckily we don't have to worry about it the way that they do. But if we can aid them and help them stop it, that could be a glory greater beyond just fighting and killing and throwing weird glowing rune stones into carriages. There could be something to this. And for some reason that feels even more just.
Feels more dangerous.
Fighting is dangerous.
You see Ash sort of like chuckle a little bit.
But you're not a stranger to fighting. You fight every single day. I watch you. I see the struggle that you have, not with an enemy with a sword or strange beasts with blue metallic skin, but with a war that you have within yourself. Whatever that thing is that you follow, that you're bound to, it burdens you sometimes. I see that struggle within you.
Loyalty burdens us all, my friend.
It does, or it wouldn't be loyalty.
I am loyal to you, and to Butcher, and to Eno, and to my sister, and to all of our friends down below. I do not actually give a fuck about these Elden.
Well, that's good. I don't think they really give a fuck about us either. So
I mean, they will if they think it's us that did this.
yeah. That's why I think we have to make sure that she survives. And Fane actually looks over towards the unconscious Cythriel. She helped us before the others did. She saw merit in us when so many of their kind haven't. If she dies, then perhaps whatever sort of good faith that we have earned up will die with her. Plus, Eno wants to get it in, so.
Eno. Oh. Somehow he makes this a little bit more tolerable. Watching him blush and stutter. And you can see Ash like kind of smiling a little bit. And he's gonna like pat you on your shoulder and go, okay. I just did not want, we said strong words in strange space. And with everything happened so quickly, we're back here. Just want to make sure that we, if not on the same page, we are all looking at the same page.
Of course. Don't worry, Ash. I have always counted you as one of my closest companions. You, Butcher, Eno, you're like brothers to me, and I would never jeopardize that. Not for Darkath, not for the necrophage, not for her, not for myself. And Fane will also give a little bit of a smile, and he'll clasp you on the shoulder. He just does a reassuring shake or two. There's just a moment that the two of you have.
Ash just gonna lean into it and kind of nod. And then walk off again and start humming.
Okay. And as that, like roughly around the times at which they're getting to the end of their conversation and stuff, Butcher just kind of at this point, turns around with his arms out. He says, "You know what I don't understand? If this is so goddamn urgent, why didn't we go right to the well?"
That is a good point.
Very good point.
What?
The fuck are we doing here?
We would have to walk less.
Yeah, we're not going to get out of walking. Cithriel's brother, Kevon, says as he's finished sort of setting her up on the floating disc that he has, and he's done what he can to sort of make her comfortable. He seems kind of, drawn and really worried here about what's going on with his sister, and he's definitely sweating it out a little bit, but he stands up and he says, 50 years ago, before the Necro King fell to the combined power of the Imperium and the Magisterium Alliance, he made a desperate play. His agents used interdimensional travel to penetrate into the Celestial Cave and infect the well with necrophage. They were stopped and the well was cleansed, but this did have, and he kind of eyes you guys, some unintended consequences, which is why you all are immune to the necrophage. In any case, powerful magics have since been erected around the cave. We have to head into it physically. The magic is what's keeping that gray warlock Noir at bay also. We better hope that they hold long enough for us to walk there, or we're going to have a whole nother issue on our hands.
Okay, but once we get there...
Once we get in physically, I can control the magics. We're going to have... The main issue is going to be that if we want Endwil and whoever he's bringing back with him to get in with us, we're going to have to drop the defenses at some point. Just long enough for him to get in. So once we get there, everyone needs to be on the lookout for a Silver Raven. Once we see the Silver Raven, we know he's ready to come in, and then I'll drop the defenses, and hopefully he can squeeze in before Noir and his whatever those things are manage to break down the door and get in on us.
So, just out of curiosity, Kevon, how big is the well?
Pretty hard to describe. The only thing I'm going to tell you right now is mind your steps.
Okay.
Is slippery around the well?
Well, it might be wet.
There's a lot of empty space. You'll see when we get there.
Empty space.
Cryptic asshole. Okay.
That was
Have you faced this dark wizard before, this Noir? What other sort of tricks can we expect if he does show up?
I don't know. He's not someone that was really even someone that we knew were. I mean, we knew there was a number of warlocks and other people that were involved in some of this business. The one time I did encounter him, he was still alive. A few months ago, I ended up with a group of people. We ended up in the underground, another place, not Urkala, but another place similar to Urkala, but much further north from here. There's a race of rat people that live in the underground there. They had in their possession somehow another artifact called the Purest Vessel, which is another artifact like the Celestial Octave that can counteract the Necrophage. A number of us went down to get it, and when we got there, Noir was ahead of us. He already had it, and he was in the middle of a fight with another group of people that had come from Segovia at the other end of the Imperium. During that fight, Noir was killed. I saw him die, but a group of his supporters, Grey Eldrin, unfortunately, disappeared with the Purest Vessel, and we haven't seen them since. Andwil believes he knows where the Purest Vessel is, but he says it's also very likely that he's been lied to. So I think that's something he wants to look into, but unfortunately, this whole thing happened here. You look guilty there, Travis.
Oh, bad.
Looking guilty. But
Wait.
last time I saw Noir, he was killed. So I have no clue what brought him back.
Wait,
why he came back.
You're saying there's rat people?
Yeah, apparently one of the last things the Necro King did was leave a little time bomb present, if you will. I don't think he would use the term time bomb, actually, because, you know, I left a trap for the people who would storm his citadel. He created a breed of creatures that could spread the necrophage. Unfortunately, they were a little bit wilier and smarter than he expected, and they managed to leave and just exile themselves underground, so that even that didn't work out for him. But they're still around. There's been reports of them appearing in places like Segovia and some other cities in the Imperium. There's a town not too long ago, just on the border here, that was attacked. And it was only a group of adventurers that happened to be in the city that managed to defeat them. They had tons of rat warriors and an ogre rat or something like that. So Andwil tells me, but
I'm sorry, but rats? I don't think maybe they wear fur.
No, I saw them with my own two eyes, up close and personal. They are rats that happen to look like you and me and be about the same size as us.
You saw them, so I trust you, but I find it very hard to believe rats exist like that.
Well, we've seen all kinds of weird things just in the past 2 days, you know. I mean, rat people isn't all that strange.
Yeah, but I mean, magic is magic, but rat people just sounds. I don't know.
But the Necro King was known to be into all sorts of genetic experiments and things of that nature. So,
Sure, I'm not calling you a liar.
no, I know you're not. That's
I'm
fine.
I just, it's hard to believe that.
It's not so surprising. I've known many rat people in my life.
The hell?
Tobin,
I mean,
you can be a
Tovan.
rat.
I'm gonna put Darkath on that list now.
Oh, okay, all right. Now I understand. Okay, yeah, yes, Ash, I agree.
All right, we should get moving soon. If there's anything else you need to do before we get a hoof on, you best get to it. I'm going to finish up with my sister here, and then we'll head out.
Okay.
So before you head out, anybody else want to? One of the things that's Fane that starting to bother you a little bit is you're starting to feel a little bit of a pain in your hand underneath your gauntlet.
Oh yes. Started off as a cramp at first. A side effect of the battle, I would have thought. We took some pretty strange hits, but the discomfort continues to grow, and it seems to be spreading up closer towards my elbow at this point. A little bit of a heat involved as well, something a little uncomfortable. My tunic feels warm even underground like this. It's odd.
Is this something that you keep to yourself for now, or do you
I think I'm going to step off to the side. I want to make sure I'm not injured. Something underneath the skin has broken, or a bone is fractured, or something that I'm not aware of. I mean, being a cleric, I'm able to somehow get an idea of, things like that that might need to be remedied. So I'm going to skip off over to the side for a moment. I'm actually going to remove the wrappings and pull off my glove. I notice that my hand's a little swollen at this point, and when I pull off the glove, it's almost like peeling off the skin. It's so tight, and I look down, and in that moment, it's like time stops. The feeling of just this could be something mundane just drops out completely from underneath me. And as I look at my hand within the palm, I notice something very odd, something I was not expecting to ever see there. I'm not sure if, okay. I wasn't sure if you were going to.
Yeah, you were on a roll. Sound like
That's okay. I just didn't want to step over
you
your
want me
narrative.
to tell you what you see, I'll tell you. But
No, that's fine. Okay, so I'll do it. And as I look into the palm of my hand, there is in the gray skin, a dark, deep recess of black, a black spot, one might say, that has spread out to be almost the entire width of my palm. There are small veins that drift out from each side of it, up through my fingers, up towards my fingertips, up towards the tip of my thumb. And again, I pull back the sleeve of my shirt to see that growth is actually beginning to crawl its way up the forearm, closer towards the elbow. And in that moment, I realize I'm looking at something impossible, something that shouldn't be, something that can't be. It's the necrophage. And I've been infected. And that panic washes over me. There's a moment where fear and fury in equal measure well up over me, try to make me almost have a panic attack. But I look around and I see my companions. I see the light Eldrin nearby, and not sure what this might mean. I'm going to just simply move a little bit further off to the side, and going to rewrap my hand, test the bindings a little bit. I can't actually get the glove back on due to the swelling, so I just wrap my hand in a way that's gonna still functionally be battle wrapping, but it's a little bit discomfort. But yeah, I will keep it to myself for now. My three companions, despite my anger and despite the front that I put on, that I am someone who needs to be aggressive all the time, I do worry about them, and I don't want to cause them any sort of pain. So I'm going to keep it from them from now. And hopefully, when the timing is right, I could perhaps figure this out, take some time, and see if perhaps my magics might be able to counterbalance this.
Very well. I believe you deserve an inspiration point for this, as you are truly acting in your nature, even to your own detriment here. I always said that if one day I was lucky enough to invite a whole bunch of GMs to play for me in my game, that I, could just sit back and watch it all happen. And that was good. Sorry if you fell on the spot there, but I was like, hey, man, Karen's doing it, like Karen's carrying that thing. Awesome. All right. Anything else you want to do before you set off? Any other chats? Are you good?
Nothing else?
Okay.
Things?
Okay, well, if you think of something else on the way, you can always mention it. So you set off across the ruins. You know the way to the well, or at least one of you would know, if not all of you would know. It's a bit of a secret, but it's kind of like a rite of passage almost, where getting to the well is very difficult, and in order to sort of prove your worth or your courage at some point as a Grey Eldrin, you have to make the trip there. You kind of dread it a little bit because you don't know exactly how the rest of the group is going to be able to handle one of the major obstacles, which is a very derelict bridge that is falling apart and is very unsteady and very dangerous to cross, but literally you figure you'll cross that bridge when you get there. As you head off in the other city, the other thing that is on your mind is that there are all sorts of horrors, monsters and creatures that live in the tunnels here beneath Vale. There's remnants of ancient civilizations in the ruins, but there's also remnants of ancient civilizations in some of the monsters and the creatures that inhabit here. And in the area immediately around Urkala, there's enough people and guards and so on and so forth that there's not any serious threat or issue. But you know that once you start going further into the darker tunnels, there's always the risk of something finding you in the darkness and attempting to eat you. This is on your mind. You can't help but notice your friends, the Light Eld, the Eldrin from upstairs, as you travel through the various grottos and tunnels, some of them pitch dark, some of them tall and lined with columns and, remnants, as I said, of ancient civilizations, some of them with colorful mushrooms and weird lichen and all sorts of strange lights, some of them with underground rivers. You realize how little they know of the world that you inhabit, as they seem to literally, even Kevon, who apparently is a very well-traveled and experienced adventurer, it seems to be taken aback by not only the expanse of the underground, not only by what is to be found here, but as he says at some point, under his breath almost, as you're moving along with Cythriel floating on a little floating disc, at some point in a particularly spectacular cave, you'll catch him saying under his breath, I can't believe there's all this beauty under our feet and we just ignore it. And then, him recognizing that, probably for some of you at least, gives you a little bit of a sentiment of pride. And you do realize that for all the differences that you see in them and the way they live, that there's also sort of a similar point of view on there, that they just don't know what it's like down here. Some of them, like Imbrel, the other bard, seem to be assholes and don't care, but he definitely seems to appreciate what he's seeing and be awed by it a little bit. You do expect monsters and strangeness and attacks, and that's why when you hear coming ahead of you a little bit the voice of a couple of Eldrin talking, you're actually surprised. That's not really what you were expecting. If you will, let us take a quick look over here at the Owlbear Rodeo, our map, and see what you come across.
Nice picture.
Yeah, that's the city of Vale that you find yourselves in. So as you are walking along these tunnels, you arrive up here. I'm just going to put you guys up here, and then if ever we need the NPCs, I'll add them to the thing. But the four of you are sort of walking ahead and kind of scoping it out, and you hear echoing through the, from the walls in this underground, a couple of voices talking to each other in Light Eld, the slight dialect variation of the upstairs. It's basically very similar. It's kind of like the difference between, London English and Glasgow English, for example. So
Sorry,
completely
Glasgow.
different languages.
No, don't mean it. Just...
But you do recognize the voice of Coriel, the man who originally, or the man or the Grey Eldrin who originally hired you and sent you on your mission to the upstairs. And as you approach up here, you can see that there's a path that goes down, and you have to go down, and you have to cut across down there to continue to where you're going. But here, you're hearing voices, including Coriel, and you can see that there's another guard up there, though they don't seem to have noticed you yet.
Fane will wonder what they're doing here specifically. Apparently on the way to the well. It's a little strange. Now, is that light there, or they're sitting in the darkness?
No, there's light there. That this particular path is one that is often used. It's a major kind of crossroads for the tunnels down here, so it's lit, and as you can tell, there's a few other elements here. It's very much, it would be like the crossroads leading into a town upstairs, right? You got the the cages there, you know, to frighten off the people and so on. So, but yeah, so it's very much a very well trod and very sort of well known crossroads where people often meet. You know, will meet at the two cage crossroads or something like that.
Yeah.
So, what would you like to do?
Perfect. Well, Fane will turn to the rest of the group. What is Coriol doing here?
Midday stroll, possibly.
Well, we shouldn't,
Gonna
I
wash
think
away
in
the
any
guilt?
case, just stride in there with our light eld traveling companions. Maybe we should confront him ourselves, see what he's about first.
Wait. Maybe we just pass by and say hi and move on.
Okay.
I can hide our light elven friends.
Odd question. Is Coriol expecting to see us?
Well, he gave
That's
us
what I wonder.
he gave us our death. Maybe he didn't know. Can we
Maybe
hear
he
what
did.
they're saying?
Do you want to try to hear what they
Yeah, Osh is absolutely going to sort of sidle up a little bit closer to the edge of that cliff and try
Right,
to
yeah.
catch what they're talking about.
You need the old stealth.
Ye oldie stealth roll. That is a natural 20.
Oh my god!
Ooh,
As you're talking to Ash, he disappears.
nice.
So Ash,
Silent image to just help with that a little bit.
so you crawl up to here and you hide out behind that old wagon that's kind of destroyed there, so that the guard across the way doesn't see you. And what you see down there is Coriol. Along with another one of his goons. Two light Elden guards. Eldrin, sorry. And in the middle of them, bound and gagged, is one Tobin.
All right, new plan. Kill that guy. Oh wait, no.
Yeah, just
I mean, now it just means I get to kill him.
I'm gonna use message and like tell everybody what I see down there. I'm gonna tell Eno that Tovan is in the
What it looks like to you is that Coriol is in the process of trading him to the guards.
Fuck. What the fuck is going on?
So I guess Tovin is down there with some guards and Coriel and his goons. I kind of want to kill Tovin, but I don't want to kill guards.
It's a lot of effort. He's about to meet some ends, I would imagine.
Yes.
They'll probably take him back up top for some sort of prosecution or something. That's their
And
way.
he will be blamed for things. He is a scapegoat.
Kevon
Well, he
steps
did
up and
stuff,
goes,
so
"What's the holdup?"
We are trying to.
we've come across a situation that involves our prior interactions before we met with you. So
Look.
if you could just give us a moment.
It is criminals of our world talking to guards of your world.
But it has nothing to do with us. We need to move on. Like we don't have
Well,
a lot of time.
give me a moment, and
Right.
Fane will stand up and he will start marching down towards the
Okay, you
group.
just stay here.
And
with
he's
me.
going to, when he starts to walk, he's going to, I would assume there's some sort of call that the rebellion would have to.
Yeah, there would be
signal
like a
them.
whistle or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll give that as he approaches to let them know that someone of the rebellion is coming up.
So as soon as you come kind of around the corner and you let that go, that call is repeated by the goon down here, who repeats it out. And then you hear like some shuffling, and then you hear one of the Eldrin guards go, "What is this? Is this an ambush?" And like they draw their swords and they get into a defensive position. And Coriel's like, calm down. It's just one of our guys. And then he looks up and he sees you, Fane, coming down. He's like, Fane, what? Before you answer, please, what are the rest of you guys doing?
Holding Kevon back.
He's
Oh,
not
okay.
pushing it. Yeah, he's gonna
Yeah.
hang back.
So, yeah, like as soon as Fane just walks off, Butcher's just like, "Man, could have just like you gotta complicate things, man. All right, whatever." And I'm gonna let me get the dot out. Should have had the dot. I kind of take a little bit of an insurance policy here. I'm not gonna follow him. I'm gonna be more kind of up here
Mm-hmm.
and kind of waiting for things to go south because it's exactly what I expect things to go at this point.
And Vivino.
I'm holding.
Oh yeah, you're holding him. Osh, do you do anything else? Do you?
I'm gonna sort of stay hidden up here, and I am very ready to blast the fuck out of Coriel. What is my ring doing right now?
Your ring has been very silent, in fact. Pretty much since you went to the interdimensional little sort of closet. Your ring has the only time your ring kind of you felt it, sort of react was when you were talking with Fane earlier at some point. It
Sure.
reacted a little bit, but it feels like it's waiting.
Sure. I'm fine taking charge of my own fucking life right now. It's fine. So I'll just hang out up here and stay hidden for now. But I'm definitely ready to blast the heck out of Coriel.
This does remind you because you did meet your friend in the ring at a crossroads, so you do have little flashbacks of that. But
I'm gonna reach into my one of the folds of my cloak pocket and fondle one of the apples that I took from the stalls earlier and just sort of just think about it for a second.
All right, Fane. So Coriel sees you, goes, Fane?
Lieutenant, might I have a word?
Sure. We're your friends.
Well, that's why I wanted to have a word with you. There was a problem with the mission you sent us on.
I hear it's chaos up there.
It is. I was the only one to escape with my life, to be honest. The rest are dead. Do you have a moment?
He looks at the other two guards and says, calm your tits, boys. This is nothing. I'm just going to talk to my guy here and then we can finish our business. Step into my office, Fane, and he'll come down and we'll wait for you down here.
I will go down to meet him, and as I walk past where they have Tovin, I'm going to look at Tovin and I'm just going to give him a wink. As
Tovin's like this.
him. And I will go down to meet the lieutenant.
Sir.
So things go bad up there?
I'd say so, sir. The entourage that you wanted us to release the runestone to, they knew we were coming. It would seem that they were prepared and ready for whatever sort of distraction we were supposed to cause. They summoned those weird creatures above, and they decided to ran them amok throughout the town. The other three, they were torn apart right in front of me. It was terrible. We have to get message to Darkhath right now.
Are you trying, is Fane trying to really lie, or are you kind of being obvious that you're bullshitting him?
Oh no, Fane's trying to deceive him. Yeah.
All right, so toss me ye old roll.
Oh, a deception check.
Deception.
Okay. Well, with my +1 for my charisma, that is a 7.
I love it.
So he obviously doesn't believe you, but you kind of get the feeling that he thinks you're doing it on purpose, telling him some bullshit story, kind of I'm not gonna say the truth. I'm gonna say some bullshit, and you and I know it's both you and I know it's bullshit. but we're going to operate on the level of this is bullshit, so we don't have to like kill each other, sort of thing. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's kind of like, okay, yeah, I get it, I get you. I see where you're coming from. Anything I can do for you?
Just set me up with a meeting with Darkath.
That can probably be arranged. Do you? I mean, I'm not gonna be able to do that now, but if you come by and see me this evening,
Okay.
is that good?
I think that's perfect.
Are we good?
Oh, of course, sir. Why wouldn't we be good?
Just saying, sometimes, in the fog of war, people see things and experience things that may not be very clear, may be very confusing. And I think that a good soldier, the best kind of soldier, realizes that there are plans and that these plans may not be immediately clear to them, but a good soldier sticks to the plan, follows the plan, has faith in the plan.
He doesn't notice, but down at his side, Fane is clutching that hand that's been tainted so hard that it's actually shaking. He goes, I believe we understand one another perfectly clear, sir.
Glad to hear it.
And you hear in your head as Oshka's message, do you want to fucking light this guy up?
And then Fane, now if I respond out loud, or do message, do I respond in my head or do I respond out loud? How does that work?
You can you can reply in a whisper or a regular voice. You could cloak whatever your message is and pretend it's to him, and then I actually could be to me.
That's what I was asking for, yeah. Without breaking eye contact with Coriel, Fane will say, I believe we've come to an agreement. We'll make sure that we handle things properly. And when Darkath meets with us, we will let him know everything.
Sounds good to me.
You hear in your head again, I did not understand that. You can reply to this message.
So yeah, finish up whatever it is you're doing with that miscreant over there. He's a little bit of a pain in the ass. Are you selling him to those people, or what are you doing?
Yeah, well, we had already gotten our hands on him, and we're going to make this trade when everything happened upstairs. These guys just want to get back to what's going on, but I just figured that might as well get rid of this, because once they sort out what's going on upstairs, this is the kind of thing that's going to come back to haunt us. So, I figure...
what are they going to do to him?
Guys like this who've seen a little too much, know a little too much, sometimes they become dangerous, and you have to do what you need to do,
Oh, I see. So you are disposing of him because he saw too much, not because of what he did.
Bit of both.
I
Mixing
see.
pleasure with business, let's say.
Mm-hmm. What will they do to him? Motion towards the light eld.
I don't know. Make glue. I don't know what they do with it. They'll throw him in jail somewhere. Apparently he murdered one of theirs, so they'll deal with it.
He did. Oh my, that's terrible.
That's what we're being told.
Well, luckily we're at war with them and we don't like them very much, or that would be really, really bad and really sad.
It's just that the person that he ended up killing was someone who was very important to someone who was very important. If you get my meaning. And let's just say that there'll be hell to pay if we don't do this. And, it's war. You got to make a sacrifice, right? Sacrifice one for the benefit of others. If they come down here in strength after they clear up whatever little mishaps going on upstairs, more people could get hurt, more people could die. And this way, at least, we're limiting the damage.
Of course. I do hope, and at this point, Fane I'm imagining they're kind of walking back towards Tobin and the Light Eld.
Sure, if you want, yeah.
And he would say, kind of in the direction of the little bluff where the companions are. He'll say, I do hope that they don't trip in the dark when they get up above the ridge there. It's pretty dangerous down here. Do be careful, I'll say.
It looks at you like you're weird. Okay.
Fane,
All right.
you hear in your head, just say the word yes if you want me to shoot this guy.
And then Fane will actually do something uncharacteristic. He'll put an arm around Coriel's shoulders, like he's going to conspire something. He goes, let me tell you the funniest joke that I heard. And he'll turn him so that he's wide open for the group. Knock, knock.
What? There's your
Fane,
answer.
did you lose your mind up there? What's
Oh,
going
no,
on?
this is great. You'll appreciate this. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Yes. And he'll
Bonus
step
act.
back.
Fucking light him up. I'm gonna bonus action hex this motherfucker and hit him with 2 Eldritch Blasts.
Go for it.
As soon as he steps back, Fane is going to pull out his Warhammer in case this other guard who's up on the ridge over there wants to start anything.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, this is good. This is good. So
You get the surprise on him. Go for it, Scoozy.
okay, so I bonus action hex this motherfucker. So you see some like shadows, like kind of like join your hug as you're embracing him. And I rolled.
I let go of him. When they start coming up, I actually step away from him.
Yeah, they sort of creep from the ground and sort of fill
Mhm.
into the folds of his clothes. And I rolled a 24 and a 28 to hit
Okay.
for both of those Eldritch Blasts.
As you're doing that, you're gonna feel some tingling coming from your ring, a little bit of juice coming from it, and those hits are going to crit.
Oh, this is so good because I rolled a 10 and an 8 on the die.
Jesus.
So that's 20 plus 16 is 36 plus the hex damage, which is a d6 for each. Hold on. The hex damage is.
The D6 for each pop.
It should be D6,
It's a
yeah.
d6 for each pop. So that is.
Uh-huh.
That's a 5 and a 4. So that's another. That's 20, 28. It's 26, 36, 42. Nope, 44 plus 2 bludgeoning damage plus my modifiers, which is 6. So 53 damage, most of which is force damage.
So, tell us what happens as you vaporize.
You liquefy
Yeah.
this guy.
Or
Yeah, I want one of the orange beams is like has a fist and it's just gonna reach in and sort of linger there and grab his head, and then the other one's gonna come up through the bottom of his skull and just burn out his eyes.
Fane, the side of your helmet is splattered.
As
with
I get
gore.
as I get splattered, I actually want to turn, and not with my tainted hand because that holds my weapon. My other hand, I want to point up towards that guard up on the ridge and cast Guiding Bolt. If
No
I
problem.
could. Ooh, to hit, that's going to be 17 plus 6. That's a 23 to hit. And then he's going to take. Well, I'm assuming that hits, right?
Jesus.
It's 46.
We are the ambushers.
That's it. Let me double check. I'd hate to misquote. I believe that's 46, though. My little sheet here doesn't have the damage on it. I printed up a new character sheet because we leveled up. Yeah, 46 radiant
leveled
damage.
right back down. It was like whack-a-mole. Level 6, level 5.
So
Back down
so
there.
that guard up on the ridge is going to take 7 points of damage. Not a very great roll, I'll be honest.
All right. So your gang bolt shoots out, hits him. He falls down, kind of
Mhm.
on his ass. And then there's like one of those pregnant pauses, one of
Mhm.
those uncomfortable silences where no one's moving and no one's doing anything because no one knows what the fuck just happened. And the other goon that's down here is like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Starts to back up slowly. The other two guards, the Eldringer's like, the hell just happened? The hell was that? Did he just blow that guy's head off with some orange glowing fist? Oh man, I told you we shouldn't come down here.
I'll yell out, "Come on down, boys! Grey Eldon, assemble!"
I don't know if I'm gonna come down for that.
The two light Eld guys
Yeah.
are putting their weapons down. They're like, we're good, right? And the other
We're not
goons
here
are,
for
like,
you.
backing out.
Oh, damn. Okay.
You're fine. We're not here for you. We've come with a higher call, and I'll just wait for my companions to come down or do whatever it is they're gonna do.
Go ahead.
Yeah, as Butcher just like at this point walks up towards that edge there, and just like that slight comment over to Fane, I didn't take you for a man of foreplay, but holy shit. And it just steps right off and then lands down on the ground just with some dust come off on the landing. Well, I suppose you can leave that for us. He points at Tovin.
The two light Elds are like, we don't want any trouble here. We were just told to come down here and pick up a criminal. Like, we'll leave, no problem.
Mm-hmm. Just say that nobody showed up. That sounds right?
No, and that's not what happens. And Eno comes walking down, sword in hand, and is going to stab Tovin in the throat.
Tovin sees he's like, and then he stabs him.
Yay! Oh shit!
He really seems confused. Like,
Yeah, yeah, you're dead now.
He falls to his knees.
So Eno will pull it out of his throat, look up at the guards, and go, "You can take his body. You say he died mysteriously."
All right, he was mysteriously stabbed in the throat. No problem. We got that.
Stabbed with a mysterious sword.
Right.
Right, mysteriously stabbed in
He
the
was
throat.
killed by you. All you saw was a shadow that killed him and then vanished.
A mysterious shadow. Oh yeah.
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 Monsters.
A mysterious shadow with a mysterious sword. A mysterious. Yeah. All
Right.
right. Yeah, I got that. I got you.
Right. You can take the body. It's fine. Can you put this?
Okay. So they grab him, and then they hurry on out of
And
there.
Eno is fine.
Ash is shaking.
Face is perfectly pristine.
Kevon comes down and goes, "Is that how you guys usually handle business down here?"
No, that was personal.
That's
Okay.
that's a bit of a case of fuck around and find out.
That too.
I've never heard
Mhm.
that expression, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, it'll serve you well.
Are these two going to be a problem, or can we carry on?
Oh, they'll be fine.
The guards.
Yeah, the two goons.
Oh, the goons.
Yeah, they're
Those are
like.
the-
So, anyways, we were just on our way out.
Right. The one that's glowing, he'll stop glowing after a little while, but he'll be fine.
Should we?
Are these guards loyal
think-
to Darkhath?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, I'm gonna grab one of those goons and say, "Listen, you, both of you, do you know where Darkhath is?"
No, I don't know. I can tell you he's not in the city.
Well, neither are you. That doesn't help me much. Do I believe them?
Yeah, like the like, dude, your Dirty Harry thing with Coriol like shook them pretty hard. Like, these guys are not lying to you now or ever.
Okay. Who are you loyal to, friends?
Whoever pays us. Look,
mean,
I didn't get into this to mess with the light. I don't really care about the light. It's just, a way to make some coin, and get a little bit of respect down here.
I will pay you with your lives. How is that?
That's pretty meager pay, but I'll take it.
it's a good
Oh, you
deal.
think so little of us down here.
Well, you gotta admit.
If I may make a suggestion, Fane will say as he steps forward. And he, for a second, he kind of is rubbing at his hand. And he says, if you're able to, find a different way to make money. Because there's a change coming. And this rebellion might not be that important after a while.
Mm,
All right. Can we go?
Sure.
sure, your loss.
Well, Safine, you said there's a change coming. I didn't know this. When did that happen?
And Osh will use Silent Image to have a rune explode in the air and a dark portal open out of the ground, and some little fake blue monsters come out of
Oh,
it.
shit. Oh, that. Oh. Oh. All right. Thank you, Ash.
Change, as they say. I will give both Osh and Vino here inspiration. Vino for having achieved this goal that you had set before yourself of getting your revenge on Tovin, and Osh for having, for if only one brief moment, been incredibly aligned with your patron.
Yeah, Osh is angry
We both got inspiration for basically assassinating people. This
for
is-
being murder
Yep.
hobos.
I noticed
You
that
know?
too, yeah.
the
There's
two
people who
the
deserve
two peace
it.
lovers have
Look,
just
There are
it's a
people who
crime
deserve
of
it.
passion. You know, it happens.
the two peace lovers have just murdered two people in cold blood. Inspiration.
There you
Toriel
go.
put all of us in danger. He put my friends in danger.
That's right.
Don't fucking do that.
Yep. No qualms about Floriel.
So, having murder hoboed your way through the crossroads, you continue on your trek along the tunnels, getting to parts that you're less familiar with, having only been here once or perhaps twice before. At some point, one of you will think it probably wise to tell Kevon and the others that there's a very rickety bridge up ahead that's still functional, but can possibly be problematic. But people cross it all the time, and supposedly and it's fine. And as you're sort of explaining that to him, you round the corner and find that what was once a rickety bridge has suffered a little bit of erosion and a little bit of damage since last you were here. And as you can see across the way, the door that leads to the underground part that leads eventually to the cave, you are faced not only with this gap in front of you, but a centerpiece that you can see is swaying very dangerously.
Well, shit.
The butcher looks over to Kevon. Well, you got that fancy disc. You don't suppose you could just build us a damn bridge?
I don't suppose that's quite within my means. If only one of us could fly like a level 6 warlock, that'd be great.
Hello, fourth wall.
Goodbye, fourth wall.
It does.
Well,
Kind of looking around to see, like, there really isn't much to go by. This is the only way across.
okay.
I don't know if you all saw the message that was posted, but you can consider to have had a long rest at the beginning of the thing. So,
Right. Anybody got any rope?
The long rest. Is it the long
Yeah, I think we've all got rope in our explorers packs.
No, I only have string.
I do not have
It's
rope.
baby rope. It's not much good.
I don't. I have string, but it's used for sewing for costumes.
I have 50 feet of rope. I'm not sure if that's enough. How far across is it, do we think?
it's about 50 feet to the centerpiece, yeah.
I have a crossbow. I have a little light crossbow. Could hook up some rope.
And throw my rope as well, but I mean, looks like it's gonna be a little bit more complicated getting our payload over there.
Could any of you make people fly? We could fly one of us over there and have them tie the rope off, make a little bit of a tight rope to walk across.
Did
last
we
one over
add
gets
people
flown
to
over
our
as well.
party?
Yeah, you have a paladin and a bard, neither of which are that useful.
Oh, they were there the whole time?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, sorry, it's just
Okay.
because I didn't put their.
Yeah.
That's all right. I was
You
just like,
know,
oh my
it's-
god, our party got bigger. What happened?
No, it was them here. I'll.
Down in the dark, we multiply.
So
We are a legion.
yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, yes. Okay. I don't know. I am better on stage than on bridges.
How far down do we think it goes, DM?
far.
Far
And-
away.
You said the center thing is swaying a little bit.
A little bit. I would say worryingly, but not direly.
I guess to answer your question, Kevin, Butcher's gonna, like he goes up closer to the edge to kind of like eye up, how it looks down there, and just like kicks one of the rocks off the edge. Just listens for it to bounce off of something.
Takes a little while, and then you hear puck, puck, puck.
Oh yeah, that's gonna hurt.
Just climb down and go across.
It would climb down. It will take all week to climb down.
Yeah.
I don't suppose there's
know-
anything that we can shoot anchor rope into, like a stalactite. Swing across.
It's probably too high, but how high up do we think the ceiling is, DM?
Ceiling's pretty high. Also, it's probably about also like close to 50 feet ish. Embril, the other bard, says I can use Mage Hand, but only for about.
Well, who
30 feet.
can't? Everybody can use Mage Hand.
I cannot use Mage Hand.
Okay.
See,
Right, because Mage Hand would require me to not be very good with my hands.
Ash is gonna
That's how it
look
works.
over at Kavan and say, "Look, your little disc. Can you, if you let it go, will it move?"
no, it has to. It can only be a certain level off the ground. It'll just drop.
Hmm.
Mm.
You know, I'm realizing I am not suited for this bridge.
The hell
Well-
does that mean?
Someone's gonna have to come up with something, says Kevon, because we're not gonna like let this be the reason my sister freaking dies.
Okay.
No, of course
okay.
not.
Well, I'm not trying to have her die, okay? You just slow yourself.
If I tie rope to crossbow bolt and I shoot across bridge, it will be at least a start, and then maybe we shoot another rope.
But how much rope do we have?
Two
If-
lengths of 50 feet, apparently.
Two,
Mine?
two,
And Butcher's.
250s.
I can. Kevon says I can levitate someone up about 20 feet, maybe, if that helps us in any way.
I have mage hand. Mage hand goes 30 feet. 20. You're 20 plus my 30. I can tie rope onto middle with mage hand. No arrows needed.
No, I don't think because levitate just you are going up.
It's up and down, right?
You're
It's
not
level.
going
It's even.
forward.
It's physics. I don't know physics.
I know some, just mostly from stage effect, but
No, we can. We can push him once I've levitated him up.
Yeah, push me. I go over
Yeah.
there. I tie rope.
we're going to push someone 20 feet in the air. With what?
Well, no, I don't have to levitate him up 20 feet, but I can suspend him enough so that he doesn't fall. And then we push him out. And then when he gets 20 feet out, he can use Mage Hand to tie the rope at the other end.
Okay. All right. So that will work. One problem. What does he do after that?
Well, we give him a rope, 20 feet of rope, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
pulls
2 lengths of
himself.
rope. You pull me back after.
Oh,
Yeah, we got that
okay.
part. It's
all
goes
right.
without being said.
I just
I
not
don't
want
do
to
this
leave you out
levitation
in the
shit.
middle of nowhere, Ash. You know.
All right, let's give it a shot. So he'll cast Levitate on you.
Whoa!
And you can, he can control you, so he lifts you just like a few feet off the ground. Like
Fane
if
will
you,
look at Butcher and just give a nod, and I'll grab on to Osh's like back of his thighs or something.
Right. Ina will back away to give
Yes.
Butcher and Fane it clear
well,
lane.
don't forget to give him 20
Yeah.
feet of
Rope! Give
so
me
that-
rope!
Yeah, I
Oh,
hand
yeah,
him my
I wanna-
rope as I
Yeah.
grab on.
Give him like 18 feet or, so that he doesn't go too far.
Well, if I
Oh,
make
yeah.
it to the other side, it's, I just stay there. You figure it out from there.
If
I-
you
I
make
feel-
it to the
give him a
center,
shove.
Oh, yeah.
I
Alright.
would not
Yeah,
step
Whoa.
on it.
Well, interestingly is that he can maintain it on you for 60 feet. So
Oh,
theoretically, if you get a good enough push, you can make it to the middle.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
We'll give
I-
him a good strong push. We'll try to get him to the
Yeah.
middle.
All right. So
Pushes upper half, he pushes lower half. Just
give me both of you a strength check.
This is why Ino is not pushing.
Would we have better? Okay, never mind.
What?
I was just saying,
use-
would we have better luck if we have like one of us assist the other, so that we have one of us gets it with advantage?
Yeah, that's
is it
fine.
better to
I
each
was
roll
just going to
separately?
see, like, how high both of you rolled with your
Yeah,
strength.
you know what though? I think it is worth it. I will give whoever is pushing Bardic inspiration.
Okay.
So
Well-
that's a D8 for your check.
I have a spell that would have helped with this a lot too, but I didn't prepare it.
Would it be fair that I use athletics? Or is it just strength?
No, athletics is fine if you want.
Okay.
Oh, we can use athletics. So
Yeah, if you prefer. So make me a roll and just tell me what you roll like, and then I'll see, like, based on how both of you roll.
Okay. Well, Fane got an athletics check of 21.
Okay, that's good.
The total, since I was given inspiration as well, is a total of 24.
Okay, 24. I will say 24. I will say that you get like pretty close. You don't get all the way to the middle, so you don't get 50 feet to the middle kind of thing, but you get close enough that you can use your mage hand on and wrap the rope and then pull yourself the rest of the way
Yeah.
if you want, for example.
perfect. I'll tie the rope off to some like maybe a large, sturdy looking remainder
Yeah,
in the
there's
middle.
debris there. There's like, the side of the there's like a handrail kind of thing on the side, that's
Sure. One of like the bases of the handrail. I'll pull, and then I'll kind of maybe set my feet down a little bit. I guess I'm still levitating.
Yeah, so you'll have to yell out, you'll say, do you want me to cut it? I think I should keep
No,
it in case you fall.
keep it going. Just lower me down so I can feel this thing.
All right, it'll just lower you enough that, your feet, your knees bend a little bit so then you can stand straight and be on the...
What's it like up here?
But the second you land on it, you feel rocks and bricks kind of detach and...
Okay.
Like, you think it'll probably hold it, but certainly not more than one at a time.
Okay. And then how far is it from here to the... Is there
From
like
the
another...
other, to the other side, just 20 feet.
Okay. Is it like a flat 20 feet, or is it up or down? Is it
Oh, it's
jumpable?
pretty flat. It's pretty flat.
Man,
Not jumpable.
sections of bridge.
Yeah, it's jumpable.
Okay, I'm here. It's fine. Rope is secure. Maybe only one person at a time. And
You can carry someone though, and I can still keep levitating you. So if you want, we could. use you
I'll
as
take
a barge.
Cythriel.
We can take you as a bar. We can use you as a barge.
How flattering.
How long does that last?
Sure.
It lasts for. concentration, or up to 10 minutes.
Okay, we better hurry. So
Yeah, let's be quick about this then.
All right. You can cast it a second time if needs be.
I'll gesture to pull me back over and.
All right, so you'll start doing that. When he pulls you back, it's like, hey, look at us building bridges.
See what I mean, Eno? Times are changing.
So through a mixture of mage hand, levitate, ropes, barging, you go back and forth. You carry everyone across eventually. Every time you touch that middle part, you feel bricks and parts sort of fall out of it. But by the end, when you're all across, the pylon is still mostly standing there, though it's kind of leering a little bit to the side. So you're figuring that, you know, woe betides whoever steps on it again. When you get to the gate there, you know that it's open, like it's rusted, kind of ajar anyways, and you push through, and eventually you find yourselves going up a stone-cut stairway all the way up and into some caves, and eventually you arrive at the area. And traditionally, Grail don't go all the way into the well simply because it's too dangerous and there's probably guards and all that. So usually getting to this point is sort of where, you know, you make your mark. And when you get there, there's like a cliff face that goes up that's maybe like 15 feet up. And you can see the marks of the different Grey Eldrin that have made it here. And some of you would probably see your marks also carved into the stone as, you know, a counting coup thing of like, we've gotten this far, we made it here. So some of you would notice certainly your mark there, however you feel whether or not you did it. And just before we cut here to take a break, you enter into this cavern, finally managing to climb up over this this cliff face and sort of going through a fissure in the rock. And the second you start going through the fissure, you feel this intense amount of arcane power and energy that's just sort of, you know, booming through this place and sort of coming in waves. And you hear sort of a distant sound of water running, like falls or something to that effect, sort of running down. And the level of magical energy that you feel is incredible. And as you step through the fissure one after the other, you will eventually enter the celestial cave and see up ahead of you the Well of Eternity, which is a round platform made of some material that you're not quite sure what it looks like, perhaps metal or something like that, but it's levitating up in the air. There is water that's cascading on all sides of it, but it's not water. It's arcane energy that's kind of like water as it spills over this thing and falls into the nether region below. Where you are, you realize that the power of the well has been eating at the very fabric of the cave here, so that here and there are holes that have been created, and these holes, when you look into them, don't go anywhere. Like you literally see like fields of darkness or things like that. It's not the physical world anymore. This cavern is disintegrating from the power of this thing that is sitting there, that is emanating all these energies throughout the entire place. And as you gaze upon this, this is where we'll take a short break to refresh ourselves, short rest to get our levitates back. And Ty, thank you for being so patient.
What a trooper, man! Love it.
Is about to come.
Dude, no, it's a great seat to sit in to listen to the story. So it's my pleasure.
Thank you so much. Very nice of you to say that. These guys are doing a tremendous job as always. So if you will, kind folks, please stick with us. We will take a short break here to get some liquids and evacuate other liquids, and we will be right back in the Celestial Cave and see what happens with the Well of Eternity and our buddies here. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you after the break. everybody, welcome back. Hope you took the opportunity to take a little break. We sure did. I noticed, Kevin, you went off to your tanning booth in your basement and got in a little session. That's good. Like, yeah, you're looking very bronze, very bronze. Very nice. Kevin is the stunt double for Ryan Gosling in the Ken and Barbie movie.
That's actually true. That was supposed to be kind of secret.
Oh, sorry,
but,
man. Did I?
you know, the cat's out of the bag. You know,
Cat's out of the bag. You know, everyone knows now. Thank you very much for joining us. Brief reintroduction of my players who have been absolutely incredible all throughout this session, but some great role playing earlier this evening. Also, why change a good thing? We'll go back to the Scoos.
Yo, hello, I'm Scoozy, and you can find me at Scooz News on Twitter and such. I am playing Osh, the increasingly unhinged warlock, and having a blast. Yeah, I'm excited to see what the heck this arcane
Having a
shit's all about.
blast.
Having a blast.
Having a of the Eldritch variety.
I think it would be good to underline to your friends how different Osh seems from where he was like 6 months ago or whatever. Like, right?
Yeah, very much so. Osh was timid. Osh was shy. Osh was a bookworm, and then Osh started stepping out a little bit and being dressing funny and like acting super charming and witty and like being in front of people, and is now, yeah. It is a disconnect, and that is unraveling a little bit.
Blowing heads off with his. What did you use? Your Hell Blast, whatever what's called?
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. There you go. Hell Blast, Eldritch Blast.
Hell Blast. Yeah,
comes from the same store. Comes from.
It's the dollar store Eldritch Blast.
That's right. The
dollar. Powerade, Gatorade, man.
It's you make do with what you can, you know, when you're living in Arcala in the underground. Speaking of living in the underground, Kevin.
Living in the underground. Because I'm so pale, I live under a rock, perhaps.
I don't know.
No, I'm Kevin, and
I don't think these ahead of time, you know.
And I am playing Feindar, or Fane. He is a cleric of the war variety, and we're talking about how things have changed. He's always had a little bit of a need to show that he is capable, try to prove himself, and he's always kind of looked after, especially Osh and Eno, as kind of younger sibling type of vibes. Butcher in this little group is somebody who he's come to trust because he bested him one time years ago, and he earned his respect. And we just found out a little bit earlier this session that Fane, have been infected with the necrophage, which is really bizarre because normally that does not affect the Grey Eldrin. So something is amiss here. And I'm ready to get into this and to see what the Well of Eternity does for us. So
the Well of Eternity.
Do it.
Short story. Keep going back to that same well. Tim, my man, what's up?
Tim, you can find me on Twitter as Flame Blackmore. I am playing Eno, the previously hopeless when it comes to the girls, just completely a dweeb of the highest order. Somehow the bards let him in. Very poetic and good-natured at first, at least he'd like to think so, and recent events have shown he has maybe a darker streak than originally people might have thought. A little more ruthless than he ever intended to be, and a little more I don't want to say calloused, but there's a level of disconnect from the artistry of being a bard and the act of violence that he so sought to avoid for so long. There's a bit of an interesting dynamic forming inside him.
But he did give us the remarkable line earlier of, was it, death is only life ending?
Yeah, yeah. Death is only the stopping of life.
And there you go.
Yeah,
That will go down in history, my man, because I'm going to put it in the journal.
yeah. There you go.
There you go.
That's his new catchphrase. That's what it's gonna be.
Death is
What he
only the
wants.
stopping of life. And life is only the stopping of death. It's a cycle.
Yeah.
And as far as segues go, speaking of cycles, hey Travis.
Hey, so Travis, you can find me on Twitter as Scanner Result. I am currently playing as Butcher, and tonight, I think out of the whole cast so far has probably been the most unchanged out of the group. I guess maybe is very grounded pragmaticism, or maybe it's just some sense of nihilism. I'm not sure. I will say, maybe, maybe like there's a place in his heart. He definitely cares about his closest friends here. They're. But how far does that actually go?
We shall
He
find
did
out.
give the warning. We're not heroes. We don't need to go that far.
Very dire indeed. I like it. I like it. Finally, the man who's been silent, the man of mystery, James Bond himself, Tyler. So Tyler.
Hello, and the mystery shall continue, except for the fact that I'm Tythalanos. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter. But yeah, the mystery continues, and we'll see what actually happens here shortly.
He's actually
Maybe.
playing a character in the epilogue, just the last 5 minutes of the episode.
He's playing the well. He's the
I'm
there
waiting
you
for the big bad that I get to play to come in. That's all. Then we're good.
the big bad. Speaking of the big bads, I am Bleakseason, the Bleakseason on Twitter.
Now that's a segue.
That's what you can do when you introduce yourself.
Big bad.
Yeah.
They call me the Sultan of Segway. Yes, Master of Ceremonies here, but I would be nothing without these incredible players and without the magic touch of our producer, Andy. Thank you, Andy. Thank you very much. All right, let's dive into this. So at the beginning of the session, you guys had traveled back from some pocket dimension, having a promise to guide a group of light eldrin to the Well of Eternity through the city of Rakala, through the tunnels in the underground, so that you could reach it before the forces of the undead warlock Noir breach the doors. Your goal being to hopefully cleanse the bard Cithriel of the necrophage, so that she can then use her power of the celestial octave to, through the well, amplifying her voice through the well and cleansing the entire city, which is currently being attacked by Noir and his forces, and people are being infected with the necrophage and infecting others, and it's just it's a bad situation. What are you gonna do? It's a bad situation. So you've arrived in by hook and by crook, traveling through the underground. You met the unfortunate Tovin, who had betrayed you earlier in the game, as well as Coriel, who also had betrayed you. You did short work of those two miscreants, both in the case of Coriel by Osh, with a little help from his ring friend, blowing him to hell, and Vivino getting his own vengeance for the attempted plagiarism of his work by Tovin, by stabbing him in the throat, and doing the thing, doing the deed, as they say. And after having been almost derailed by a bridge, you have finally made it into the celestial cave where the Well of Eternity. You arrive in this well. As you do, you feel the arcane energies I was saying earlier battering at you, almost as this thing is humming and thrumming, and these lights are spinning around, and you're feeling the power in this ancient artifact just thrumming through the entire place, like the entire place is shaken. And as I was saying, the power of it has been eroding this cave, but not eroding it in the sense of destroying the rock so that you can see, behind the rock or beneath the rock or deeper underground. It's literally tearing holes through the physical reality of this place, and there's not a lot of this cavern left. So you're, kind of wondering what's going to happen to this at some point. I want to point out a few things on the map. If you would take a little look at it, these black things here are stalactites / stalagmites. They go all the way up to the ceiling and block line of sight if you're behind it, sort of thing. So something to keep in mind if ever you get into trouble. Over here down at the bottom are the doors that lead out to the city of Vale. Currently, you can tell that as much as there's arcane energy in the middle of this room start flying around, there's other arcane energies that are hitting this door and that are trying to sort of break down the defenses. When you look at these holes here around the rock, it's basically it's the void, it's nothingness. And so this is not a tunnel, but rather it is a very narrow stone walkway with just void and nothingness on either side. So it is a very scary place, very impressive place. But this is at the core of Eldrin society, because this artifact, which they've had for about approximately 1,000 years now, a little bit longer, is what gives Eldrin their long lives and fuels most of their magic. So it is very much the beating heart of Eldrin society. So you arrive in this cave from the north there. I keep forgetting I changed the token for Cythriel. There we go. You arrive from the north, Cythriel still being on her little floating disc that's approaching. As you get in here, Kevon will look at you, Vino, and say, would you mind looking after Cythriel? I want to go see to the defenses of the door.
She will be safe with me.
And remember what I said earlier. Look for the Silver Raven, which will be the sign from Endwil that he's ready to come, and I'll bring the defenses down at that point. Imbrel and Tessin, if you want to come with me. And so the three of them will sort of head out, running, through the cave like this, eventually making their way out here, where Kevon will start dealing with the door and checking the magics. He starts feeling for the lattices of magic in there, and he's trying to strengthen the spells on the door and so on forth with the help of the other two.
Which one's Cythriel again?
Sorry, Cythriel is the purple one.
Purple one.
Okay,
Yeah,
that one.
the super purple.
She is lying on her.
Likely match.
Oh, it's meant to be.
And as you approach her, she'll reach out and she'll sort of take your hand and just kind of hold on. And when you do approach her, you can see that the necrophage has spread out, sort of even more.
I won't look at her chest. No, that's
no, but you can see through like the.
What
You're a good man. You're a good man, Vivino.
What a pure boy.
There'll be a little blush shows up when he's looking down at her chest. Yeah.
So, tell me then, what would you like to do? As you are in this room, Kevon is out there with the other two, seeing to the defenses of the place. You can hear the magical attacks coming at this door, and you are in this room for the first time in your life. And you have this dying bard with you. Kevin, Fane, as this is happening, as you're getting a moment to sort of take a breath and relax a little bit, you certainly feel that the pain in your arm has started to go up, and it's starting to climb up into your arm here, and you're kind of afraid of sort of what's going to come from that. You're hoping that whatever's in store here for Cythriel can perhaps also help you. Gentlemen, what would you like to do?
Fane will actually approach Eno as he's kneeling over Cythriel.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll say, she's safe with you there, I'm sure.
think so.
Do you remember when we met, Eno?
Yes.
I remember it like it was yesterday. We were young, inexperienced. I had bitten off more than I could chew with a gang in
You were fighting 5 of them. I don't know why you picked 5. It was strange.
Well, life is about proving yourself. It's about making sure that you know what you're ready for and that you are able to handle what gets thrown your way. And I'm not afraid to admit that I actually made a mistake that day. I did fight more than I was ready for. Luckily, little brother, and he's not actually his little brother, he just calls him that as a term of endearment. Luckily, you were there to help me. And
Well,
because
I
you were
don't know.
young, smaller than the rest, and because you were a little bit nervous, I decided to adopt you, look after you,
Okay.
and in all these years, I thought that maybe I was protecting you from the world, making it so that you didn't have to face the things that I faced all the time. But I did that not because I was trying to be in control of you or trying to stop you from being who you're supposed to be, but because I wasn't sure if we were ready. But times do change, don't they? I have seen how you've been acting these past couple of days, the initiative that you've taken, the strength that you've shown. And I realized that that readiness that I was waiting for wasn't for you. It was for me to let you be the strong man that I know that you are. There's going to be a lot that's going to be different after this, and you are ready. You don't need me anymore.
Fane, I do not want you to take this in any way other than respect and um, well-meaning.
Speak plainly.
I never needed you. I wanted to. That day we met when I helped. Well, I mean, you call it help. I got beat the shit out of, but
We both did.
Right, but I only got punched once, so it wasn't the same. Point being, when I met you, you were like my sister. You were headstrong, wanting to prove yourself. You reminded me of her. So I thought, she is gone, she is doing her thing. Maybe if I stick with you, I will find way to do same as she did, because I am not. Revolution was just a game. It was just something to play at. I still don't really think it's something real. But you and I, we don't need each other, but we do belong to the same reliance on needing what we bring. So I think I will probably die today or tomorrow or however long we are here. But if you die, I will not be surprised. I will only be surprised if you die pathetically. So You seem like sick or something. You've been looking at your hand this whole time. So whatever's wrong with you, I'm not going to pry. But if you're going to die, all I know is you will make it memorable. And if I do not die, I'll make a song about you. Because we are brothers, but that does not mean we need each other. We just have each other. So that is how I see. Also, you are very bad at hiding pain. So
I think
I
everyone
just
who
thought I
tries
should
to
tell
hide,
you that.
well, I think everyone who tries to hide pain their entire lives are actually bad at it.
Yeah, it's very rare to find someone who. I think Butcher just says he's not in pain, but I think he's really in pain. But he does a very good job of hiding it. I mean, that or he's just a selfish prick. I don't know which. I keep wondering and hanging out, you know. He might be both. I don't know.
Maybe. You speak wise. Almost has a certain poetry to it.
Well, I know things, you know.
Well, don't worry.
They kind of make me. I had to do a lot of studying.
Yes. Well, don't worry, Eno. I will try not to let you down with my death today.
You won't let me down. You will die gloriously, or you will live, and then we will see what will kill you the next time.
Fane begins to say something else, but then he stops, just nods, and he turns and he walks away.
I was wondering what would rhyme with Fane, and I guess it's pain.
Hey, you're not
Yeah,
wrong.
darn that passive bardic perception. You look at your hand. I'm like, oh yeah, I looked at the hand again. Oh, looked at the hand again. Looked at the hand again.
Anybody else have anything to address your friends here before this entire place explodes and takes half the continent away with it?
Right.
I think Ash is just kind of in awe. Has never been in here. I think he's gonna make sure that everybody else is like situated and at least okay and doing something, and he's gonna walk towards the middle of this.
Feel free to move your token as you wish.
Towards
Oh,
the shiny
Wow.
lights and the sound of water.
You know that that GIF of Jack Nicholson going, that's what your ring's doing right now.
Jack Nicholson is my patron.
Yeah, that's great.
That
Yes.
would rock.
there we go.
Make it happen. Make it happen, wizards.
Closer to that light if you want me to take a better look at it.
You want the Eldritch Blast? You can't handle the Eldritch Blast.
Yeah. I mean, what's like it feels intense in here. It's like almost oppressive. But like is it getting more intense the closer that Ash is walking towards this?
It definitely is. And look, I will tell you this, all right? One of the things that makes this place kind of intense, aside from the magical energy and the arcane power and all that's there, is the knowledge that so much of Eldrin society is basically built around this. Before this thing, the Eldrin were not really any more magical than the other races on Eld. The Eldrin did not live extremely long lives. In fact, as you well know, there was a schism at some point, and the Eldrin nation split in two, with a large group, about a third of the Eldrin, departing the Magisterium and going to settle up north because they thought this was unnatural, and they chose to live short, normal, regular length lives, rather than to live here next to this thing with these unnaturally extended lives. So there's, you know, a lot of that sort of tied into this thing. The more you approach it, the closer you get to it, the more it feels alien. It feels out of place, out of time, like it doesn't belong here. And whilst you can't deny the positive sides of it, the long lives, uh, you know, a lot less disease, the magical powers that come with it, so on and so forth, you can't help but feel that there's something wrong on some level with it, but not evil, just not meant for this place. And in many ways, that's how you feel about your patron. You feel like your patron brings good things to you, power and a bunch of different things, but he's definitely alien. He's definitely not of this place. And you find it very difficult to understand what he wants because he doesn't want what, you know, a normal person would want. And it's kind of the same thing with this here, where you wouldn't go so far as to say that it feels sentient or anything like that, but it definitely feels like it's not meant to be in a cave giving a bunch of Eldrin long lives,
Right.
whatever
right.
it is and wherever it comes from. So there's kind of that unsettling, really feeling about it.
I mean, I'm gonna sort of pause. Is there like, is there any sort of barrier? Like, can I look and just can Ash walk right up to it if he
You
wanted
can
to?
go right underneath it because
Jesus.
the three pathways that are there, this one, and this one, connect in the center. And so when you go underneath there, the sort of arcane waterfall, like it's not water, it's arcane energy that
Sure.
falls down, washes over you. And you can feel it, the sort of tickling of it, like, you know, tingling, not tickling, sorry, tingling of it as it kind of washes over you. And you do feel not empowered, but you definitely feel that it's having an impact on you. And you can walk right underneath it. And when you walk underneath it and you look up, you can see that the center, which is this spinning lattice work of magical energies that's producing this thing, it's basically hollow. You can kind of see through it. Um, and so the feeling you get is that it's really the circle thing around it that's the engine. Really, it's not like a cup or a well or something like that. It's really, and do an arcana check just for shits and giggles.
15.
Okay. Literally, the closest thing this resembles to you is a portal of some sort.
Is Butcher? Do I see? Is Butcher following me up here?
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely been not too far behind you. Or did you turn to him?
Yeah, I'll turn to Butcher and be like, well, it might not mean anything, but it sure is pretty.
And you see him sigh and look up. All this fuss over a big fancy bonfire. I don't know what it really means to me.
As
You want to walk underneath?
sorry.
Was it but you went all the way through. I mean,
Yeah, I went
would have
like,
probably passed through. I probably would have felt something. I might not have been as in tune to it as say for yourself.
Yeah, as someone who doesn't is not in tune with the arcane, as a fighter, you know, you feel the power of it and whatnot, but it's kind of akin to being next to like a stove or something where you feel the heat of it. It's not speaking to you, so to speak.
can I toss my apple up?
Where'd you get
Interesting.
that apple? It's just a random apple, yeah?
No, it was an apple. It was given to me by the denizens of the alley that we
Yeah,
saved.
no problem. You toss it up. You do that.
Yeah.
You toss it up. It goes up and it comes down, and there's like 5 or 6 apples that fall down on the ground in front of you, and they're like super nice and shiny and very healthy and kind of big and juicy looking.
Butcher. Would you like an apple?
It's an apple multiplicator.
He looks at it with
the
some
well of
concern. He's
infinity.
like, yeah, he's looking at that. He sees that. And he got this look of concern, like, nah, I ain't fucking with that.
I'll pick up an apple and I'll take a bite out of it.
Best damn apple you've ever eaten.
And I'll throw the bitten apple up.
When you throw it up, a bunch of apples come down and they're all perfect and whole.
What the fuck?
Let's throw Cithriel in there.
Let's 6-3-0?
I'm okay with that. Let's do that. Let's throw. Yeah.
Speaking of Cithriel, while you're out there sort of, gazing at this thing, Cithriel is kind of holding onto your hand, and she says, she opens up her eyes and you can see she's very weak. And she says, you're very kind, for everything we've been told about your people and your callousness. You're quite kind.
You can say for Grey Eldrin. It's okay.
Seems like such a silly thing now, this dispute, this fear that our people have for each other.
Well, I want to solve. So how do I sing Celestial Note?
I don't even know how I do it. You might ask my uncle Andwell. He's the one who knows about these things.
Did he make you sing it?
No, I just started doing it at some point and he knew right away what it was.
So you do it naturally.
Yes.
Okay. And you're too weak right now to do it.
It feels like this infection that's inside of me is making me in some ways too impure to sing this purest of notes.
Well, it might hurt you to sing while like this, so I wouldn't do it.
I think I barely have the strength to hum.
Well, you don't have to hum. I will hum for you or do something for you. What I think you need to do is rest, save strength.
Could I
Yes,
ask you a favor?
of course.
Would you take me to my brother? I'm afraid that my uncle won't come back in time and I may not last long enough, and I'd want to be near him when it happens, if that's what is to be.
Of course. One quick question before I take you. Do you like me?
She gives you a little sort of weak smile. She's like, is your name Vivino or Eno?
You can call me Eno.
Well, I think you're very swell.
Okay, I guess that's enough. Okay, all right. You just rest, and I will push you over to your brother.
So you start pushing her, Fane, and what are you doing, Fane? As he starts heading out with her.
Oh my God, that is very narrow. Jesus.
Do be
Fane
careful.
is just going to. He notices this. He just kind of has a private smile to himself, knowing that Eno is finally going to pursue a lady, and he's just going to start making his way closer to the well. Just look around to see what's going on. He stops part of the way through, and he clutches at his hand again, flexes it a few times. He actually holds onto his shoulder, winces actually, but then he puts on that tough exterior again and continues to move closer. And again, he's just kind of surveying everything, looking around. He's not. He's just kind of waiting for what we're supposed to do.
Okay, so as you're doing that, as you're approaching, as they're going there, you get, Thane, in your head a voice, and you're used to this because Osh does this all the time, but it's a different voice this time that says, "Look, I'm sorry for what I said earlier, but we had to keep up appearances. All I want to say is, don't worry. We're with you guys. We got your back." And sort of as you're wondering where the hell did that come from, you realize that it's this guy, the bard, Imbril's voice. And he's kind of looking at you. And, also as you're coming by and bringing Cithriel over, you notice as Imbril steps behind Kevon and with one swift move cuts his throat and then turns around and throws the body.
Fane's gonna yell out, "No! What are you doing?"
And as you see Kevon's body sort of fall back and blood just sort of shooting out of his throat, sort of almost in slow motion as he falls back, the paladin is walking towards the door, and Imbril, the man who has just killed Kevon, looks at you guys and goes, "Told you we were with you."
Explain yourself! I'll yell across the cavern.
The time of your liberation is at hand.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
And
This
as
is not what we came down here to do. What are you doing?
I thought this is what you wanted. Don't worry. Everything will be explained. And as he's saying that, as he's coming back towards here, he says, "Now we just got to get rid of her." And behind him, the other one, the paladin, is disengaging locks on the door. And the doors slowly swing open, and you can feel the magical energies surrounding this place that were the protective spell work around this place start to fall. And into the room, striding in as if they own the place, is Noir, is the man at arms, and a veritable army of these blue skinned demons. As he walks in, the two elves, the two light elves that were with you, sort of bow to him. Emerald says, "Master, one's been disposed of, but the other one is still here." And Noir sort of steps up around here with his bodyguard and the other guys. I'm not gonna just spend my time moving all these things, but they're sort of spreading around.
Oh, before they get across that bridge,
Yep.
can I fucking Hunger of Hadar that entire entryway, please? And thank you.
There you go.
As he's doing that, Fane reaches out and he yells, "Eno!"
Like as they start approaching that narrow walkway, like before they even get off of there, I want to like get that whole thing covered in like the void.
No problem.
Basically.
So you do that. You covered this place up completely just before they get around to crossing. And as the tendrils and like these bits and pieces of the void sort of like spread out around this thing, I'll put just this little thing over here. He's like, Noir says, "Well, that's no way to welcome one of yours.
He'll hear in his head just a whisper saying, "You are not one of mine."
Perhaps not right now, but I'm sure you understand that what we do here, we do for our people.
Yeah. At this point, Eno and his lady disappear. Invisibility second or third level.
Okay. I'll put little white circles around you. Noir sort of looks over in your direction, and then he looks back over at you guys. He's like, I appreciate your craft and cunning in guiding my servants here. I can certainly use men of your talent and dedication. The fight that I'm leading is the one that we started so long ago to free ourselves of the chains of bondage imposed upon us by the Eldrin of the Magisterium. I've perhaps changed somewhat in the meantime, but that is still my stated goal. I would assume that it is yours also, is it not?
Well, that fight ends here. You die in this room, or we do, killing you.
I'm quite surprised to hear you say that. I thought you were some of Darkath's men.
This is not a time for words.
Do all of you feel this way? There is much reward for any who will join us, and only death for those who don't. Don't be foolish. You fought so long, so hard to achieve this moment, to reach this moment where our people are uplifted from the bondage placed upon them by those who think themselves are better. You would throw that away now?
Is he in the cloud of the is he
No, they
inside of the
stopped
void?
just before. He stopped just before.
Okay. Can one of the tendrils reach out and slap him across the face?
Jesus.
He's a pretty up there dude. So I'll tell you that one of the tendrils sort of reaches out and he takes a step back and it kind of slaps out at him. But I don't want to be an ass.
Just
but,
the intent was there. He doesn't need to actually hit him. It's not. It's just for flavor.
Also, he looks around and then he looks at Butcher and he's like, "You feel the way they do?"
Look, man. None of this shit makes much sense to me. It's a lot of fucking wasted effort, but I just want something to punch at this point. So give me a little satisfaction and we'll talk.
Well, if this is your choice, if a pretty Eldrin maiden has enough power in her little face and her little voice to turn you against your people, I guess we are better off without you then.
This is not the way. And he'll motion to the faint a motion in the direction of where Eno and Cythriel were. He can't see them now, obviously they're invisible.
Also, we've moved.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, but he just points to that direction and he says, "That is the future. That is the way. The fight is over. Admit it." And then Fane's going to start walking, and as he starts walking, he gets more forceful to eventually he's just jogging and or running at this guy. His weapon comes in the hand, and he's ready for this.
And as this is happening, Eno, behind you, see where that pillar is, sort of in front of you, rather?
Right.
Like in front of it, the pillar sort of shimmers, and you see that effect again of kind of like a curtain being pulled aside. And stepping out of that hole in the curtain, you recognize Anduil.
Oh.
And very strangely, an Orkin.
Oh boy.
Who
Stepping
sort of
into the
looks
soul with him.
weirdly familiar, but not at all familiar
Exactly.
Mhm.
at the same time.
Tyler, little description as you step through the portal with Anduil.
Stepping through with Andril is a tall, pretty intense, imposing looking Orcan, pale greenish skin, a mop of shoulder length brown hair is kind of pulled back, showcasing some piercing yellow eyes. It's a lot of thin scarring over his face. He's wearing a fine suited chainmail, and on one hip rests an ornate hilt and crossguard of a longsword, and slung across his body is an egg-shaped container that he kind of cradles in one hand protectively. And as he arrives, kind of looks over at Alduin and pats down at the container and looks about.
Anduil will tell you it'd probably be a good idea to leave it here. You can hide it behind. It's like, here, just put it back into the little. Oh no, you have to stay next to it, don't you? All right, well, let's hope for the best. He looks at you, Eno. Is she still alive? He's looking at you. Is she still
Yeah.
alive?
You can see me?
Yes, but I promise not to reveal your position.
Oh, yes, she's still alive. And he'll bring her in front of him.
Radovan. This is the girl I was telling you about. When he shows you, he opens her jerkin a little bit, and you can see what you know very well now, the black tendrils of the necrophage sort of spreading throughout her chest and under her skin and everything. It's like it's
Eno's
progressed
invisible,
a lot.
but he still turns away.
It's progressed a lot since I last saw her a few hours ago. Do you think there's anything you can do about this?
I have something that can. We'll see if she's able to fend it off with this help.
The celestial octave gives her some power, which is why she hasn't been overcome by it yet. I would hope that your medicine might be able to supplement her strength in defeating this. So what do you do?
I will. So if she's invisible, I'm assuming I can't see her.
Yeah, right now you're like, you have no clue.
I was like,
Talking to someone and he's
okay.
showing you stuff. That's right. He's showing you things, and you're like, "There's nothing there, buddy."
I will pull out one of the potions of necrosis cleansing, and I will hold it out, whether or not to her, and will. I've heard another voice, and I will hold one out.
And we'll take it from you. And Vino, you see this little vial, and it's got this green and silver swirling liquid in it that looks a little thickish. And when he uncorks it, you smell like fresh loam, sort of the aroma of fresh loam sort of exhale from it.
Never smelled that before. That smells amazing.
And he cradles her head, and he. Meanwhile, while this is going on, you guys are like back and forthing with the bad guy there in the front, right? And he pours down her throat, and he says, "How long should it take before it takes effect?"
It depends.
All right, she should
Depends
be.
on what.
Depends on her.
Okay. Big wizard guy, I'm going to go stab someone in the face while I'm invisible.
Yeah, I
So,
think that something's about to go down. Your friend with the helmet there seems to be walking rather purposefully towards them.
Yeah, I think he wants to die gloriously, but I want to stab someone in the face while I can't see me. So
You up for a little culling of necrophage infested demons, Radovan?
Cleansing was a favorite pastime.
I've never you hear this out of nowhere. I've never heard of an Orcan fighting necrophage, but if I am honest, you are the first Orcan I have ever seen, and I've never ever heard of necrophage until this mage said it. So it's really not that surprising or that celebrated. So if you're going to help kill, um, I hope you're good. And then Eno will run off, just take off.
And as he does, ladies and gentlemen, initiative.
While we do this, may I clarify one thing? Just for
Dad, you're not with
damn it.
these guys. You don't know who they are. You've never
Yeah,
met.
have fucking my skin peels apart. No. Hunger of Hadar is like 40 feet across. And
Yeah.
what is the scale of this room? Is that like, is the measuring tool an accurate thing?
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Okay. So what I was
That's huge.
intending to
40 feet
do, and
across.
it is up to you. Yeah, I was intending to get this entire entryway.
Okay.
Like, no. Delete. I don't know how to delete that. I did not mean
It's
to draw
okay.
that.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. I know what you're saying. So, there was something
is
that
huge.
blocked it when you tried to make it happen. Imagine that you kind of dropped it, but half of it didn't appear, and so
Sure.
the passageway here and all that is kind of blocked. But the area there, something about him, Noir himself, being a pretty powerful warlock, to be honest.
Gotcha.
And in fact, before we roll initiative here, as you're kind of contemplating that and wondering what the hell happened and what's up with that, you feel a tremor in your ring, and you feel kind of you've never felt fear from your ring, but you feel it now, and you hear the voice in your head that you've come to associate with your patron that says, "The Forgotten King." And there's very tangible fear in that comment or in that statement that he makes.
Sure. My patron would not be afraid of a mortal thing standing in front of him. But, okay, this is good. This is good. All right.
You know, Noir is a warlock also. All right.
Cool.
Initiative. If you would do me a favor, guys, I would like you to roll initiative, then click on your character and write your initiative on the label. So that we're going to use the same initiative. We're not going to reroll every round. And then I would like it if you went into hit points there, like Radovan has done and like Ash has done, just so that it's clear to whoever's got healing powers, sort of what's going on. And finally, as far as questions of zones go, we will call this here. So this kind of area will be one zone, and then every other section will be a different zone.
Referencing point. Eno is two
One
zones
zone,
away from.
yeah. So you're 2 zones away from Noir, but 1 zone away from Imbril, for example.
Right.
So you're here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So moving to like the center kind of area will be 1 zone. And then if you
Gotcha.
want to move here, it would be a second zone.
Got it.
Yeah. So basically this kind of walkway around the well is 1 zone. And then every other little kind of, there's 4 other zones beyond that. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do it. Let's do it, guys. I will redraw your while everyone's rolling initiative, I will redraw your Hunger of Adar a little bit. So we'll say you kind of got this out of it. Okay.
Not mad about that.
Yeah.
That'll do. Embril can choke on some cold damage while we're chatting.
We'll start on that. Okay. Let's do it. Do it.
Through this. So that's okay. This will be fun.
All right, so what do we have? We have wow. So we have 18 with Fan, 17 with Butcher, 13 on Osh, 22 with the Vino.
Yep. Natural 19 on the initiative.
Nice. 8 for Radovan and 19 for the baddies. So Vivino.
So I can make it to Embryo.
You can, but you don't get an action.
Oh. Okay.
You're
then-
changing zones, so it's like you can do a bonus action. Like you
Okay.
basically you have to dash
Gotcha.
to get
So
to that.
I will use it to. Is this close enough to be in the new zone?
Yeah, sure. If you tell me you want to be in the new zone,
So I'm in the new zone, but I'm hugging this.
the pillar, no problem.
And as a bonus action, I'm flipping him off. But he can't see it because I'm invisible. So,
The Invisibird.
The spirit that counts.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna have a lot of that. Just like, it's ineffectual, but yeah.
yeah. It's the spirit of the bird that counts.
So what did you do?
I flipped him off,
You flipped him off. Nice.
but I'm invisible, so
Okay. So he doesn't know that you're there.
Yeah.
All right. At 19 they go. So tell me what happens to Imbril, who's in your.
He starts his turn. He immediately takes 8 cold damage.
Okay.
He is blinded. He's inside of there. He can't. He's blinded.
Okay.
It is difficult terrain, so his movement is halved. And he's blinded, so I'm hoping that he goes in a direction and falls off the edge of the thing.
We shall see. So 8 points of damage. You said.
He takes 8 points of cold damage when he starts his turn in there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see which direction he goes in. So that's a 2. So that would be a 1. So the way I do like random directionally is I roll a d6, with 1 being the direction you were facing in originally,
Sure.
and then going like that. And I rolled a 2. So all you hear is as he literally walks himself off the edge right after Kevon that he just killed and threw down there. And and now I'm upset because I want to get to use this thing. All right, but it's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
It worked out well for you guys. So
I
it's
mean
cool.
that's perfect timing with me flipping him off, and then he walks off the
And then
edge.
he's like, oh.
I have power in my finger.
All right. So Noir on his action will attempt to dispel that. I guess that's a possible
Ooh.
thing.
Yeah. It's a 3rd level spell. So what's dispel magic at?
3rd level.
3rd level.
Yeah, so it goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
could have forgot to pack his lunch before he came here. Who knows?
okay.
Yeah, you never know.
So he does that so
Shit.
that his peeps can filter through. So they will dash and they will head out here to the zone. And it's looking ugly, guys. Not gonna lie.
Noir is leading the charge? No, Noir is hanging back there.
Yeah.
Noir is
Noir is hanging back.
Fuck
Come
face.
on. He went to the school of bad guys. He knows. All right, so they start charging in. So the one in the lead here is Davok, his man at arms, and over here is the paladin, Jason Moonshadow, and a couple of the other blue metal-ish guys. So they can't get to you in this round, but they are coming in hot. Coming in hot. After 22, we have 18 Fandar.
All right, so Fane is going to continue his charge towards He was actually going to try to go get Anduil, but since he apparently seems to be gone, he's assuming maybe he teleported away or something. He's not too sure. So he's going to instead focus his attention on Noir. So he's going to start making his way there. He knows he's going to have to fight through the minions on the way, and that's fine. He is going to cast Spiritual Weapon. So there is a mystical warhammer that appears in the air next to him as he surges forward. He runs right underneath the well with the crackling energy and the vortexes above him.
Apples
it's
on the
almost-
ground.
Yes, yeah, apples all over the place. I make some applesauce as I run across them, and as the hammer appears, I want to try to, as it appears, like pull it through the sphere and see if I can multiply it.
Ooh.
That's a really, really cool idea, except it's not organic.
That's fine. Well, now I will know that. Trial and error. That's part of the fun. So yeah, as
This
I
is
move and it
this is
comes
your icon
through.
for your hammer. You can move it wherever you need to.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. And yeah, so I will continue my movement. So basically, I assume with my movement, I will get up to the lieutenant guy.
Yeah, you can get up to Davok.
And so the spiritual weapon, actually, what I'll do is, as it kind of appears, it moves over to like by where he's at.
Ah,
Oh, and he grows 16 million sizes larger. So I'm really.
Right.
he is. I think that's bigger than Colossal. I'm pretty
That's
sure.
it. He turns into a dragon. It needs me. So, am I able to attack him? Am I
Yes, you
basically
can do your
charging?
full actions. He's within your zone, so you can do your full action.
Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to do a full-on attack. I'm going to use the War Priest Blessing to go ahead and do a third attack. Well, actually, no. My bonus action would have been to pull the Warhammer. So never mind. I'll do just my regular 2 attacks. Okay, one is a natural 20. Yes.
There we
Nice.
go.
And the
That's a
second
good
one is going
start.
to be only an 9. So the 9 probably doesn't hit. But the
The
nat
9.
20 with the Vicious Warhammer, that's going to be 1d8 plus 2 bludgeoning times 2. Do we roll dice twice, or do we just times it by 2?
You well, for a crit, you hold on. I'm just gonna get rid of some of the people who are dead. For a crit, you get maximum of your dice, and then you roll your dice and add your bonuses.
Oh, that's right. I forgot the house roll. Oh, not bad with the 7. So 7 plus 8 would be a 15, and then 15 plus 2 would for the bludgeoning. And because I critted and it's a Vicious Warhammer, he takes an additional 7 points on top of that.
Okay, some of the damage that you're doing to him, namely the bludgeoning damage, doesn't seem to be as effective as you would expect it. But the rest seems fine.
Okay. And then the Warhammer, the Spiritual Weapon Warhammer, is going to attack him as well, since it's in range with him. And
Perfect.
that attack is going to be a 19.
19 hits on him.
Excellent. 1d8 plus my spellcasting modifier, which is a 3. 10 points of damage from that. That is force damage.
Force damage, he takes full on. Nice. Cool. And then that was at 18. At 17, the butcher. What would the butcher like to butcher?
Well, Ash, I know you're having the messages. Were you? Would you consider giving me the signal, the idea?
I would absolutely on your turn be just eyeing this thing and say, look, it turns 1 into 6. It heals them. Maybe do you trust me?
I never go with a plan.
Throw me into the circle, please.
All right. So like, I saunter up to the center and I aim toward, like I look towards Fane, and I see how he's definitely, he's getting into the whole fight and everything. Of course, Butcher's a little jealous. So you got to hit the front line first. He yells out, "What the hell?" But he yells out over to Fane. All right, then it's go time. Show him what you got, Fane. And I'm using Rally on Feindor.
Nice.
Let me see. It is B8. There we go. And you get 7 temporary hit points.
Oh, very
Wow.
cool. Thanks.
Nice.
All right, and I'm gonna prepare my I guess my preparing an action for me to basically hold down my hands there for Ash to step on, and I'm gonna just like launch him up as high as I can get him.
All right, so give me a strength check.
I'm gonna use my inspiration for that.
And Osh, make a death save.
Make 6.
Let's see. Strength. Just straight strength, or can I use athletics for this?
Yeah, you can athletics.
All right, 26 then. Roll natural 20. I'm just like, yes, thank God.
About how heavy is Ash, you would say?
Well, 150, 160. He's not super heavy. With like the cloak and stuff, he's probably like 180. Nothing on Butcher.
Him and Eno are the waifs.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ash, make me a intelligence save.
Oh,
Intelligence save.
Oh,
That's
snap.
good.
Here we go.
That's a 13.
Okay, so you grab him and like you give him the little thing. He puts his foot in, and then you lift him up, and he jumps up and sort of almost doesn't make it, but then kind of reaches into it. And what you're seeing, Butcher, is as Ash kind of gets caught in that, he kind of slows down, and you can see the magical energy start to wrap around him and sort of start cocooning him around. And the first thing that happens is his ring explodes. His ring blows up right off his fingers, and it probably takes the finger along with it. So your finger goes, and from that, you suck on 7 points of damage as your finger explodes, and you go up. And he's kind of stuck there, and he's kind of rolling around in this thing. And as far as you go, Ash, we'll get back to you on your action, but like the energies in here are like running right through you, just coursing through you, pulling you in every different direction. You're literally feeling like you have just landed in the middle of the hugest arcanum maelstrom that's ever existed.
The apples looked fine.
The
when you fall out, you'll be fine.
the apples were not sentient.
Oh no!
You gonna
All
get
right.
like a meta upgrade or something?
Must
Yeah.
destroy you before it can rebuild you.
Like the Fantastic Four?
And so I'm actually going to be kind of a jerk to you, and I'm going to tell you that you lose your turn, mostly because I need to think a little bit.
Totally fine.
So you are spinning around in there, and
Oh
we'll see what
my.
happens.
I'm just thinking of my sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And finally, we'll have I think Radovan's left, right?
Yep.
So what would you like to do, Radovan? Now that you've given the potion over, it takes time for it to act. It's not gonna sort of fix itself just like that. And Anduil says the ones with the blue face, you need magic to hurt them, and their weapons spread necrophage, so be careful.
I will look towards him and kind of pat the container. Remember who to save, and will move most of his movement out.
Now, as you do that, I will, just in case it's not clear to you, your potions can be imbibed ahead of time to give you a bonus if ever you get infected. So it's up to you to decide if you want to imbibe it now or wait till something happens. But
I'm gonna hold off. They're pressure. It takes time to make them.
Yep.
But stepping out where I am, kind of seeing the craziness going on, I am actually going to cast Spike Growth
okay,
over on this island out here.
okay,
And so I'll reach down and grab some of the stones on the ground and look at it, and this will work. And Yeah, pretty much I'm trying to just block off that path
Okay.
towards what will be the person that I guess I'm trying to protect.
I mean, you can protect me if you want.
No, not
He knows
you.
invisible, so
Yeah, so just to do spike growth there, and that'll be it for my turn. And so if the or if they decide to go through it, every 5 feet they take 2d4 points of piercing damage.
Awesome.
And I'll roll that up. You let me know if they end up going through it.
Okay. No problem. And then we'll go back to the top of the round, which I believe is Vivino.
Yep. Okay, so all right. He's gonna come around to here. And he's gonna draw his sword and his pan flute, which kind of sends a tingle of energy up his arm. As he then suddenly appears, and as he appears, dark, almost visible words come flying out of his mouth as dissonant whispers at level 2 hit the lieutenant.
Okay. What does that do?
So he is making a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
DC 17.
All right. He actually makes it. He has a +5
Damn.
on his wisdom, unfortunately, and I rolled a 17, so he's got 22. So he actually makes it.
All right. So on that, he's going to take half. Ooh, not. Oh, damn. So half of 21 is 10. So he's going to take 10 psychic damage.
10 psychic damage. That's good. He's got no
And he's not afraid of me, but
But the psychic damage did seem to have like a good effect on him. Like he didn't show any resistance to it.
right. And
You're no longer invisible, I guess.
no longer invisible. I cast a spell. So
Okay.
and then as a bonus action, Fane, he'll look at Fane and go, "Die well," and that's your bardic inspiration.
He's always got that word to really just kind of like get the blood pumping in.
That's a D8.
D8. Yeah.
Thank you.
At 19, then he will attack you. Some of these guys will go to Vivino. These guys are like, I ain't going through that. On the other side, she will come up to here, followed by these 2 dudes. Or 3 dudes, rather. The next round, these guys will be upon you. For now, on Fane, Davok attacks you. You see that one of his weapons is a scimitar that is, the blade is sheathed in flame as he attacks you with it. And he's got a shield on his other hand. He will take a couple of attacks on you. His first attack on you is 21.
On Fane?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And the second is 14.
Yeah, the 14 will miss.
Okay. You take 6 slashing damage.
Mhm.
And and 2d6 flaming damage. So let's do this. And that's 7 fire damage.
Okay. I grin as the fire licks across my body. The molten bronze skin plate mail that I have makes me resistant to fire, so I only take
Sweet.
3.
Very sweet. Very nice. So that's cool for that. The other one will attack you with a couple of longsword hits. 7 will miss, and 19.
19 will miss me. I'm at an armor class of 20.
Oh, awesome. All right. So those two guys miss you on Vivino.
Eno does not have a decent, does not have an armor class of 20. That's not a thing.
Mm,
All right. So a couple longsword attacks. 11,
Nope.
19,
Yep.
12,
Nope.
and 24.
Nah,
But that wasn't a crit.
that didn't really do it. So
Okay. So
Yeah.
2 attacks.
miss on that 24. Yeah, totally.
8 points of slashing and 11
Ouch.
points of slashing.
And when that guy attacks Eno, I'm going to use my Sentinel feat as my reaction. I'm going to make an attack of opportunity against that guy.
Go for it.
17 plus 5 is a 22 to hit.
And then 11. Jeez.
That's
22 hits.
And that's going to be 8 points of bludgeoning damage as the Warhammer cranks him in the side of the face.
All right. Nice. Conk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, to the yeah.
Eno is bloodied.
Okay.
He's squishy.
Oh, I should have forgot. Should have imposed disadvantage on you, but we'll remember that for next time. No problem. All right, and I think that's it for the bad guys. And so at 17, that would be Butcher.
all right.
Well, I have an
Uh,
18.
You didn't get to have your turn yet?
Yeah, no, he just had his reaction.
Okay. Okay.
Do I go, or are you having my reaction be my turn?
Sorry, say that again.
My initiative is 18.
Oh,
would
sorry.
go
Yeah,
next.
absolutely. Go at 18. I'm sorry.
No worries, no worries. I'm going
Yeah.
to full on attack the commander. I'm going to. Well, you know what? Let me take that back. Instead, the spiritual weapon kind of dances and moves around the commander. It's trying to maybe distract him a little bit. I can't do any attacking because I use my reaction, so my bonus action is gone. However, I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians. So as I gesture with my
That's
hands,
nasty right here. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's nasty.
Oh yeah. And I'm going to gesture with my hands, and I actually take that tainted hand of mine and I shove it up into the air. And when I grab, it's like I pull almost shadows out of the air and rip them down. And then there are these weird spectral things that come out of my body. They would normally look maybe like angels or some sort of holy celestial creature, but they've been tainted by the necrophage a little bit. So as they streak out 15 feet around me are these creatures darting and flittering about. So I can will people around me to be exempt from it. So basically, it doesn't affect Eno. It's actually not going to affect anybody on our team.
Except the bad guys. Yeah, all right. So
Yeah.
it'll be smart.
and
So do they all take damage now then?
yeah, they if they are within 15 feet of me, basically their speed is going to be halved.
Mm-hmm.
If they come into that area for the first time, or they start their turn there, they have to make a wisdom save. And if they fail, they take 3d8 radiant damage.
Okay, so on their next turn, they will
That's fine.
Take damage. Awesome. All right. So you summon that. These things are flying all around. I like it. It's crazy. It's a great use of the environment. I love it. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
Your weapon, your flying weapon thing there?
Well, no, I use my reaction to attack the
Okay.
guy who attacked Eno, so my bonus action for the round's gone.
Okie dokie. Butcher.
All right. So I saw our other buddies. I guess they wanted to flank us. Came up behind. They give any expression as they were approaching the well.
Yeah, it's a very subtle.
All right. So since I've launched Ash up into the air at that point, and I see them coming, Butcher just has like a bit of like a smile and how do I put it? It just says, "Oh, I've been looking forward to this," and shrugs out his shield and draws his sword and comes right up to meet our friend there. And I'm going to try and clash blades with them at this point. Let's see how this goes. Please don't screw me. I got a 14 to hit. Oh wait, I'm at level 5. I get to swing twice. Does a 14 hit?
On the paladin, no. Sorry, hold on. Wrong character sheet. No.
God damn.
Still no.
Almost.
Okay. So yeah, definitely. The second one ended up being a 20 total.
So that hits, yeah.
Okay. So maybe not quite as planned, but definitely setting up the second swing. And since I landed the hit, I want to also use a superiority die to do a disarming attack.
Oh, nice.
So DC, a strength DC of 14.
Go for it.
I
have to make
that
this.
would, yeah, you would have to make that roll.
A 14, you said.
Yeah.
12.
Oh, they failed.
Yep.
Okay, so they had knocked the I went for the setup and then the cut and then wrapping the blade right out of their hands, and with the total damage of being it's 4 8 total damage of 9 with the long sword that is magical. And with my use object interaction, I would like to kick the sword right off the ledge.
Not a problem. This great sword
Nice.
flying off the edge.
And at the end of that whole thing, I look at him and say, "Everybody has a plan, so they get punched in the mouth, huh?"
She doesn't seem happy at all with you as she curses your name and promises to render you unable to have children.
I don't think he was worried about that anyway.
Butcher Jr. Oof.
Butcher Jr.
Feel a lot of Butcher
13.
Juniors.
So at 13, we have your friend and mine, Osh. Osh, you're no longer in this room.
Where'd you go, man?
You feel basically like you're folded inside yourself and then expanded again. And then you see like ages and places and times and all sorts of things that just spit by. And then you kind of hit the ground really hard. And when you do, the breath is sort of knocked out of you a little bit. Then when you open your eyes, you're in a strange room. The best way to describe it would be some sort of ancient temple. The floor is covered in layers of sand and dust and grit. There is in front of you in this temple, so it's made of stone and it looks very ancient. And there is in front of you an object that looks a little bit like the Well of Eternity, except that it's standing up and it's smaller, but it's a similar sort of metal circular ring with energies that are sort of floating through it. And as you kind of sit up a little bit, you notice that this place looks ancient, like it maybe hasn't been disturbed for the longest time, but you can clearly see footsteps in the dust of several people that have come and gone through here sort of very recently. But as you're sort of sitting there, kind of trying to catch your bearing and wondering where the hell you are, you see a shape moving behind this sort of ring, and this woman comes around it towards you. She's unlike anything you've ever seen before, in that she looks, fairly like an elder or human in some ways, in that the top, with her face and her arms and whatnot, and she's dressed sort of like most of her looks normal, but her legs are a little different in that they're sort of like those sort of reversed, like goat type kind of legs kind of thing.
Sure.
And she's got long black hair, and she's got horns that just sprout out of the side of her head and sort of come down the sides, and her skin is a vibrant red.
Oh,
And she comes around the corner. She goes, "No way to get any rest in here. Where did you come from?"
I came from impending doom, and if you're good here, I might want to get back there.
But how did you get here?
I jumped with the help of my dear friend into a spinning vortex of arcane. Not my brightest idea, and I hold up my bleeding finger.
You do feel your patron is still with you, by the
Okay.
way. Like you don't feel that he's gone or anything like that.
Sure.
She
Yeah,
comes.
the ring has an AC of 12. It's done. Yeah, absolutely.
She comes around and she walks towards, and as she approaches, you kind of feel like you feel good, like you feel she has like an aura of like warmth and friendliness and all that sort of envelops you a little bit, and you feel your patron kind of cringe a little bit and kind of move further back into your soul, kind of trying to get away from her a little bit. And she's like, "I can clearly see that you don't belong here. Unfortunately for you, I find myself oddly solitary these days, and I could use the company."
The power of spice, man.
She actually laughs. She laughs. She's like, "Don't worry.
Yeah, Asha's just like,
I didn't mean that. But if I were to allow you to return, would you swear to come back and see me when you can?"
What is your name?
We'll leave that for another time. When you're ready to see me again, in your time, head to a place called Blight Rock. There's a temple there at the base of the volcano.
Okay.
You'll find me there. I'll be expecting you.
I will. I'm never late for a date.
I don't think we're going to call this a date, but who knows? It might be fun for at least one of us.
Ooh. Okay. Yes, I vow to come visit you. I will come find you.
You can step through this circle here. It'll take you back to where you came from at a cost. Remember
And
your
what-
promise, because I will remember your promise.
I will.
Very well, Osh the Unwilling.
Yes, that is me. Okay, and I'm gonna just run and dive into the portal.
All right.
Again.
And as you dive into the portal, Butcher, over your shoulder, you see Osh just fall flat to the ground underneath the portal, like he was suspended in there for a while. And you saw him; he was there, like he was hanging on there, and he wasn't. And then he just dropped suddenly. The good news is that your finger's back. That's the good news. And you are healed.
Okay.
And I will say that that's your action, but next round you can take full action. All right. That was at. Don't remember what your initiative was.
13.
Radovan.
I think I'll do a guiding bolt at this guy down here. Seems to be someone of importance.
Okay.
18 to hit.
On the purple guy there?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. That hits.
Okay. 17 points of radiant damage as he kind of lights up.
17 points of radiant damage.
And I will actually
What
step
business are you in?
around.
Well, hold on, because he actually takes extra damage from. He has a weakness to radiant damage. 17 points. Half of that's what, like 8? So 25. As he, as your bolt hits him, and like there's a grander explosion than usual, and the energy is just like sort of, burning him, and he screams in pain. Like you've seen people get hit by this and sort of be hurt, but like he definitely looks like he felt it. Radiant energy definitely sort of stuck in his craw.
Sounds good. And
sorry?
That's it. I'm just kind of shifting to kind of see what's going on a bit and gonna hold there.
You do see these sort of weird swirling ghost-like things around Fane that are in the area and are about to like wreak havoc on these poor dudes. All right, so back to the top at 22 Vivino.
I don't like being hit. It hurts. So, okay. He's going to do something stupid.
Well,
He's going to attempt to shove this guy into the void. Not strong, but maybe you're not either. So, a push attack.
Yes, and as you are doing that, this one will use his reaction to interpose a shield and cause you disadvantage on your attack.
That's not great. I'm already bad at this.
So yeah, so make an attack just like a regular physical attack with your strength.
I was thinking athletics.
Athletics is fine. Go for it.
Okay. At disadvantage.
At disadvantage.
Oh, that was a natural 20. Well, okay. 16.
16 still manages to hit.
Okay.
So as you kind of charge this guy and kind of put your shoulder into it, the other one sort of steps forward and lashes at you with his shield to try and cause you to flinch, which you do a little bit, but all it really does is kind of put you more squarely on the other guy, and as you ram into him, you managed to pump him off, and you find yourself, unfortunately, sort of on the edge yourself, kind of like, whoa, like it's really close, but the other one's like, this is what you see. As he falls out into the void there and disappears, screaming. And but now Davok is looking at you like, you bastard, you killed my friend, as he turns his flame brand sword on you.
Was he the one who used his shield, or was it the other one?
Yeah, it was him.
Okay. So the other one's still standing there, and
Yep.
And he Eno looks at him and goes, yeah, screw you. And he's gonna run.
All right, so he will take an attack of opportunity on you.
Yeah.
He will take the attack of opportunity on you. And miss because you rolled a 2.
Yes. And not run out of the zone, but run and block the way.
Understood.
And then as a bonus action, flip them off.
At 19,
Yeah.
Bane, tell me what I need to do as these guys are in the zone of your thingamabobber.
Yes, alrighty. All the guys that are within 15 feet of me need to make a wisdom saving throw. The DC is 14.
Fortunately for you, Davok made it with a 23 because his wisdom's at +5, so he's kind of rocking it. That guy failed, and the other one failed. So the 2 goons failed their saving throw, and Davok made his. So give me some damage.
Very good. So it's 3d8 damage, and so basically what happens is the ones that failed are going to take.
Is it radiant damage?
It is going to be radiant damage indeed.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes, indeedy. So they're going to take. It's going to be 9 points of damage,
Mm-hmm.
and so he'll take 4. But they have vulnerabilities, you said, so I'm not sure how that affects them.
All right.
Yeah, as these spectral, tainted guardians just swirl around, buffet, claw, bite at them, try to pull them down away from us. Good stuff.
All
Yeah,
right.
these spirits are working time and a half.
Yeah, all these guys are now bloodied. All these guys are now, not that one, but these 2 are bloodied now. All right. But he will focus on you. This one will come on Radovan. This one will come on you. All right. So we'll go on this side, then we'll do the other side. The first guy on you, Fane. 23.
Yep.
Ooh, natural 20.
Ooh, yes.
For the natural 20, actually, a mote actually blocks that. A mote of light seems to come from Radovan, and I'm going to use charge my Guardian Emblem to negate the natural 20, but it's still a hit.
Nice. Very good. Very good. So that will be 8 points. Kevin plus another 7 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
As you were saved by this mote of light that came to you. The Davok with his flaming scimitar will attack you twice. Getting a 22.
Yep.
Ooh, and a 23.
Okay. Yep.
7 slashing. 5 slashing. And then fire damage, which I believe you're resistant to.
Yep.
It's a total of 13 fire damage, so you can cut that in half if you're resistant. As he lashed at you twice with his flame tongue, it's everything. Scimitar. You still alive?
Oh yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
On Radovan, I'm hitting armor class 20 and I'm hitting armor class 22.
They'll both hit.
Man, when I'm playing, D&D Beyond never rolls this high.
Right.
9 and 4 on Radovan.
Okay.
And on the other side, She has no more weapons. She will launch a flame bolt at you.
Ooh.
A firebolt. Getting armor class 19 to hit.
That
That hits?
is that me?
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, that shield you did give me. Let me pull that up real quick.
The spell guard shield.
Yeah, spell attacks have disadvantage against me.
Well, look at you.
I read the blurb.
It doesn't help you because I rolled a 19, so it's either 19 or 23.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, that will hit.
Sorry.
That works.
Eight.
Gotta sneak it out.
8 fire damage as the
Fire
firebolt hits you. She will
Okay.
take an attack of opportunity from you because she's going to try to back out.
Oh, I'm absolutely gonna
So go
go
right
swing
ahead.
at that. Holy shiz. Okay, it's 25 to hit.
That hits.
For 10 damage.
Okay. She's not happy with you. She's bloodied. It's 18 Fandar.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm going to, the spiritual weapon doesn't really do that much, so let's get it doing something because I didn't have to. I'm going to do more damage if I just attack. So you know what? Never mind. I'm going to just do a full-on attack. I'm just going to try to end it with this commander.
Go for it.
You will have advantage.
Yes,
From the
'cause it's a
guiding
for the
bolt.
first one.
Yep.
Yep.
Nice.
So first attack is going to be.
Big money,
Ooh,
big
okay,
money.
with the advantage, it's going to be 19 plus 5 is a 24.
Nice.
So that's going to be 7 plus 2 bludgeoning, so 9 bludgeoning
Nice.
damage. And then my War Priest Blessing attack, not with advantage. Oh boy, that's only going to be a 9, so that's not going to do it. But first one hit. Yeah, I just lay waste into this guy. Just swing at him. I'm just thrill of the battle. Just trying to get this ended off.
No problem. And your floating hammer thingy?
Well, I use my War Priest Blessing for a secondary attack, so
Okay.
it just floats there for now.
Oh, okay.
But it's still using up its duration though.
All right. 18, 17, Butcher.
All right. So she stepped back, and one of these goons comes up, and it's like for a moment, I'm trying to think. Sorry, Butcher is realizes, looking over his shoulder real quick as the this goon's coming up to him. Should you get anything out of it? What, more hands? What?
I have a date.
A what?
I know.
And it just goes right into swinging at this creature coming at him.
Go for it.
That once see. Yeah. 22 to hit.
That hits.
And I rolled the second one at would have been it's a natural 20.
Oh,
So the first sword swing is 5 magical slashing, and then the second one, which I think you said max the die and then roll, comes to a total of 14.
okie dokie. Nice.
Just like what are you talking about? A date? Just it gives a little double cut on this thing coming at him.
I'm going to Scoozy, I'm going to skip you for 1 second. I'll be right back to you. I'm going to give Radovan a turn. Radovan, take another action if you would.
I think seeing the moats for what they are will give Radovan an idea as well, and will circle this guy, I guess, to a more safer position, and
Okay.
will cast Spirit Guardians as well.
Oh,
And so
yes,
this will be
baby.
motes of light will be surrounding Radovan, yellow motes, and will that'll be at the end of his turn. dangerous
Alright.
on this side of the field.
Those are
So
the
you
limit
get
of vice. I
two-
love it.
Yeah, you
Clerics
get two,
doing double dutch with their spirits. Go, oh man.
yeah, that's gonna
Prayer
be,
just turned into a sermon. Holy crap.
some serious business. All right. As this is happening, Scoos, you're picking yourself up from under this thing, and unfortunately, because of the trolley and all that, you've lost your initiative. But as this round is going to the end, you sit there, and for a moment, you kind of get a feeling like you understand how this machine works. Not completely, but there's sort of a lingering thought in the back of your head, in the voice of the woman you've spoken to in the other room, that tells you, it's always time to consider upgrading one's source of power.
Ooh. Does this mean that I should really go on that date? Is this did I just meet another patron? Is that what's happening here?
You get a
Cool.
date with a sexy patron.
All right.
Ooh.
Is it have I heard any stories of somebody that looks like this?
You know that there's a race called the Javok who live up in Blight Rock who looks are like that, although the goat legs are not part of it, but certainly the bright red skin is part of it.
I don't have my ring to look at me.
You can
Goddamn
feel
lost
the other
your
one
mind.
inside of you going, buddy, you're not thinking about this, are you?
But it could be you say be bold, make bold choices, act.
Not this bold.
Why not?
I don't have a good answer for that.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it. Yep.
What would Butcher say? Look out for you, man. That's what Butcher would tell you.
As this little banjo music that you consistently hear like tinnitus in the back of your head starts to fade away, you hear the voice that says, "Wise choice. My name is Jadwin." And as you hear that, you gain an understanding of this well of power, and you know that you can call upon it to discharge its energies if you want. The energies caught in this thing are both necrotic and radiant, and if you want, you can call upon this thing to discharge one or the other.
Oh well, that's cool. That's an upgrade. Who needs a ring?
You got a bigger ring.
Yeah.
Putting a ring on that finger.
Is it my turn?
Yeah,
I
it's
like
your
that.
turn.
You should have put a ring on it. Okay.
Man. As everybody's like struggling, but doing pretty all right, except for Noir
There's
is
a whole
just
bunch
hanging
of
out
other
over
bad guys
there.
that haven't been accounted for yet.
Right. What's
Other than the
Noir
reveling
doing?
of the fight.
How's Noir looking over there?
Noir is gone.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Imagine him just standing over there, very constipated looking, just like, this is so.
Noir
These
knows.
freaking goons doing over here? Like, get it done.
Is the radiant energy like a pulse?
Yeah.
Great.
You do that?
Okay. Everybody duck. And I'm gonna do whatever it is that needs doing to make this thing do the thing.
So you reach up to this ring, and as the two guardian spirits that Radovan and Fandar have dropped finish off the Lieutenant Davok and the other guys that are there, as they just die from being in this conjunction of radiant sphere. You call upon the ring to do its thing, and for a second you kind of feel like the energy in it sort of goes ooh, and then all of a sudden there's this blinding discharge of golden energy that just swoop, and everything that you see there, like there's orange, blue, and when all of that becomes sort of golden hued as it shoots through the entire thing. Everyone's wounds are healed, up to your maximum of hit points, and the creatures are literally the ones that are left after the ones being decimated in the two guardian spirits. The other ones just completely cease to exist. Like imagine someone being caught in a nuclear blast, as literally like hundreds of points of radiant damage just burst out of this thing and level every other one of these blue skinned creature in this room into nothingness. And then you guys are all blinded and you're like, what the hell? As that light, but it doesn't hurt you. In fact, it healed you. And then as the sort of energy from it kind of comes back down to normal, you realize that the well is a little diminished, as the energies that are sort of circling around it seem to be a little diminished now. But it's still kind of humming and thrumming with a lot of power. And the room is entirely devoid of all these blue-skinned demonic creatures.
I think we might have shortened the lifespan of the Eldrin.
Oops.
That's how you tell a knock-knock joke.
This is true.
That's pretty excellent. So, as it's getting a little late, you will momentarily after this, you will meet Radovan, who carries this little egg in front of him. I don't know if he'll show you. Will you show them what's in that little thing, Radovan?
Seeing what they did, can probably don't mind trusting them with that information.
And so as he opens that little egg up, he's like Mando, but instead of a young
Instead of Yoda Jr.,
it's a plant.
Yoda
There
Jr.
is a plant that is sitting there in soil in this little thing.
Is there a reason? Are you a gardener?
I was entrusted with a plant that used to be here that is, I don't know how many are left.
It used to be here.
Used
On
to
the
be everywhere.
continent, he means, Anduil will say. On the continent, but the Necro King had them eradicated.
Well, okay, perfect. Right, Ash, throw the plant into the circle.
Hold on.
I don't think it quite works that way anymore.
It immediately closed.
Yeah, no. No. I don't think we should throw anything else into the circle, please.
It works
Yeah,
for apples.
you have some explaining to do, man.
Only apples, apparently.
What does this plant mean for Cythriel? What does it mean for those who might be infected with the necrophage?
It provides the means to make a potion to remove the necrophage and to heal.
Wow, that is amazing.
That is good.
Everyone, excuse me a moment.
Sounds like something would be.
Ito walks over to the ring and throws a silver coin up into the ring.
God.
It disappears and
something-
doesn't come back.
I told you. I know the secret of the ring. It only works on apples.
In your head, you hear Ash. You hear offerings are not necessary.
Wait, what if I
Ash just chuckles, just out loud, like just
What's it-
laughs.
what if I put coin in apple?
Sure, try it.
And was like, "Are you done messing around with the fucking well of eternity? Because look, I'm really thankful that you saved our bacon, but it's not a toy. So let's leave the chucking in and out of it to like, all right." We have some other issues. Cythriel, as you can see, is kind of sitting up and is looking a little bit better. He's like, we at least have Cythriel sort of feeling better here. Kid, do you think you can sing? Do you think you're actually like, yeah, I just need a moment to gather myself. He's like, well, hopefully, he looks at Osh. He hasn't broken the well, but theoretically, if you do the celestial octave next to it, it should reverberate through the city and help cleanse those who are infected and the rest of the city. Thankfully, thank you, Radovan, for your potion. I don't suppose you have a lot of those.
I have a few.
They're very rare. They're very precious. Perhaps we could-
Before Lady Cithriel sings her song, there's something else that you should know. And with that, Fane holds up his completely black, almost looks like it's decayed hand. I think there's bigger things to worry about.
So that's what was wrong with you.
Yep.
Can her song fix this? Can the amplified song cure this new necrophage?
Andul is staring at you like, well, if the octave can't, Radovan's potion can, but he comes over. He's like, do you mind if I take a look? It's like, this is
Go ahead.
incredible. This is incredible.
Not good news.
This is incredible news.
What?
This
are you
changes
talking about?
everything that we know about the necrophage, everything.
Right. We're supposed to be immune. If we're not immune, that's not good news.
But you were supposed to be immune because what we've believed is that the reason the Grey Eldrin were being born the way they are was because the necrophage had infected the well. If you are not immune, if a concentrated dose can affect you, it means that everything we know about the reason why the Grey Eldrin exist is completely out the window. It's not because of the necrophage. It has nothing to do with that. There's something else at work.
Well, okay, that's great, but we're still now vulnerable to necrophage. So
You're not vulnerable. I would think you're still resistant to it much more than others, but you're not completely immune, which means it's not a part of you. This is incredible. Radovan, would you mind giving one of your potions to our friend here, Fandar?
We could sacrifice one.
Please.
You mean sacrifice Fandar?
No.
Oh,
Oh, excuse me.
No, he means potion.
so
Yeah,
you will.
man, when the hell did this happen?
I
You
think
will
I
take,
understand it working now. I think it is safe.
You will take the potion, and it will at length cure you. Not too long after this, Cithriel will feel much stronger and will be able to start singing again. And it takes her a while to find the note. Obviously, her experience with the necrophage has affected her, but eventually she settles into it. And again, same as the first time, most of you are very much kind of entranced by this, but Vivino, like this note is like the purest,
Yep.
note you've ever heard. It's just a distilled essence of music, just sort of reverberates throughout. And as she's singing, you can feel the wells sort of swell and sort of grow with it. And eventually, as she keeps singing, other people and soldiers start coming in and start bringing in reports. And they'll say that throughout the city, the creatures, the blue skin creatures, are dying. And while not all the people are infected with necrophage seem to be cured by this, a lot of them are. They just kind of fall to the ground, stop, and then they start sort of losing the necrophage. So it does have a pretty powerful impact. And we'll tell you so Andul will tell you a lot has changed here today in more ways than one. We'll have to completely reassess what we know and what we think of the Grey Eldrin. I don't know what the future holds at this point. I think it's clear that there's a great threat out there that we need to face. But perhaps, gentlemen, this will herald a new dawn for relations between our people if if we tell them of what happened here and we explain it and we take the time to talk to them. I don't know what your plans are, but I would hope that you would be willing to help with this. There's the divide has to be reached, but has to be
Bridged. You're looking for the
bridged
word
at some
bridged.
point. Yes, exactly. Bridged at some point, and it has to start somewhere. But now it's probably not the time to go into these details. I'll let you get some rest. We'll see what happens with the rest of the city. There's still a lot of work to do out there to help some of the people that are there. I'll be going out there and doing what I can to help, but I hope that when this is over, that we have an opportunity to perhaps sit down in a more comfortable environment and have some discussions about what we've seen here.
So,
In any case, you've done a great service to the city, and I will ensure that the Archmage Lorelei Silversong hears of your deeds here today.
so perhaps reward for.
Yes, I'm sure something can be worked out. And
Thank you.
Cithriel comes up to you and she goes, "Have you ever considered attending the college?"
So he's going to be, we're in front of everyone, but he's still going to message her. And it's, "I will follow you to the end of the earth and remove all obstacles in your way."
He might need a sponsor.
Travis, you were gonna say?
No, it was just what Ina's asking, for reward, and Danwin's responding, yeah, it'll be a reward. He's just
And
Butcher's
there
thanks.
was a wink to you, by the way, like a wink to Butcher, like money, wink. Get you covered.
Butcher's sitting there thinking the real reward is the friends we made along the way, of course. And I will say, Radovan, thank you very much for coming to us. Perhaps we can, if you'll attend me for a few days, we can help those here who remain infected and injured by this, and perhaps talk about your future.
We will talk, yes.
And maybe plant, if you take seed and put it in apple and throw it into ring, you get more seed of plant.
Best to let nature grow at its own pace.
At its own pace. And then we'll say, I do have some questions about your friend Cicero. Some rather pointed questions.
Oops.
You and me both.
Who is Cicero?
A lying liar, but
Wait,
let's see.
all liars are liars.
The death of truth. The stopping of truth.
Right. A lie is just the stopping of truth. Right.
And on those prophetic words, on those words of wisdom and wit and poetry, thus will end Saga 7, The Well. A little long, but these last ones are always a little bit more. And we had to detour via Blight Rock. Well, actually not Blight Rock, but we had to detour via
Wherever the hell Osh
sometime. And this is what I
Oh
love
my
about this game is
God.
that now there's this whole new thing that's gonna happen because Osh did something radical that I wasn't expecting, and here we are.
Yeah,
Freaking madman, you did it.
You broke my game, man.
you did it, you crazy son of a bitch. You did it.
Crazy son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Guys, I had a tremendous amount of fun. I hope you did too. Thank you so much, Tyler, for coming in and being so patient and hanging out all the way till the end. But your special powers of healing were needed here. We've seen your character before in Black Moon. I will tell you guys off screen what would have happened because you could have taken Noir's offer, and that would have had a drastic thing. But we'll talk about it off screen at some point. In any case, thank you so much. We'll go around again, guys. If you want to tell us about yourselves, where we can find you, and then I'll let you go to sleep. And we'll begin again with the man who travels door to door looking for the best patron. The Scoop.
I am Scoozy. You can catch me at Scoozy News on Twitch and Twitter and stuff. And I play Osh the reluctant, Osh the slightly more willing, Osh the never late to a date.
Yeah, exactly. Will Osh be heading up to Blight Rock?
He's gonna spend some time hanging out in his well for a while, I think. Throwing different stuff at it. And see what it
Oh my
does.
god.
Ina will be there for some of that, I'm sure.
Nice. Speaking of Eno, Tim.
Tim, Flame Blackmore on Twitter. Yeah, I think, when he made his proclamation of following, he meant as much about following her as he did the removal of any obstacles in her way. That he might be a little more bloodthirsty than I ever intended him to be. So
Multi-classing, is he?
How does it feel to how does it feel to take the life of a man?
yeah.
Like, oh boy, you did that
Yep.
personally.
That first one's hard, but then after that, it's like knocking back sticks of butter.
Okay. Sure.
And on that note,
Speaking
Travis.
of butter,
Speaking of butter, Travis.
That butter is
Tell them how
smooth.
they can-
Hello everybody. You can find me on Twitter as Scan Aerosolt. Man, I words escape me unfortunately, but no, I had a really
Sour
great
man,
time.
totally understand.
What's that?
At this hour, I totally understand.
Oh yeah, I just worn out and everything, but I still had a great time. Thank you a lot for having me on this. It's been a trip to play with all of you.
Thank you, man. I always love having you in these games. You're welcome anytime. And same for all of you, by the way. Kevin Feindar, who is healed.
Oh yes.
Having changed after having accomplished his goal of changing the way the relations go, but perhaps not in the way he expected.
Well, I did promise during the first episode of this that times were needed to change and required a strong hand, and it would be his.
Mhm.
it was-
Full circle. No.
Wow.
Like the
Yeah, I'm
perfect
Kevin.
Inspiration for that.
I'm Kevin, and you can find me online at KevRan Games. I was honored to be here to do this. This was a lot of fun, and I would gladly come back anytime, maybe to run something someday. We'll see. When I'm not here, I am the host and the game master of the Game Night Heroes podcast, which we do various different actual plays of different systems. Come check them out. Travis, who is somewhere on my screen here, has been in a couple of our games. Good fun stuff. So love to see you every Tuesday. But this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Thanks to you, Christian. And thanks to all you guys for playing with me. This was a lot of fun. Thanks.
Awesome. And finally, Tyler, the man built on patience.
Yeah.
Hey, it was a treat to be here. Again, I'm Tithalanos on Twitch and Twitter. Thanks again for inviting Radovan and myself back to the living world of Shadesong Saga. It's really amazing seeing all the nested and crossing storylines that are being told. So well done. It's great to see.
Thanks, man. I so appreciate you were able to come back to play Radovan. If you wonder what happened to Radovan, originally you can read up on it on the journal in the Black Moon Saga, which Tim and Travis were also a part of.
Yeah. I'm just realizing the good people, except for Travis, the good solid characters of the Black Moon are here, and the one really not so good one is not around right now.
Well, coming up
Let's go
soon after there's one more saga, and then the saga after that is one that will tell us the story of what happens to Cicero and Karth after
Yes.
they leave their other two friends behind in search for the purest vessel. So that's coming up soon, a few weeks from now. So I certainly look forward to seeing you back for that, Travis. And seeing all you guys back for some other stuff. We will absolutely do some more of this. I will have all you guys. I absolutely loved it. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing role players. I had a lot of fun. Thank you to Andy, our producer,
Thank
for
you.
sticking it out with us and laughing at our decisions. And not my decision. My decision perfect. It's the players making these weird decisions. Thank you to, of course, Dave, the rest of the production team here at Superior Adventurers Guild. Thank you to Syrinscape for the music, Owlbear Rodeo for the VTT, Hero Forge for the miniatures, animated dungeon maps for the awesome maps, Incarnate for the last one that I made on Incarnate with the Well of Eternity, and a great big thank you to everybody else here. Tons of stuff going on at SAG. Sunday, every other Sunday, Blade Runner, our game of darkness and vile things. Monday Night Mayhem, we're currently running one by the OKS GM, Miko, who's running his World of Ystera. And we will have soon one run by Ashley, Oops All Kobolds. That's coming up soon also on Monday. I mean, are some of you in the Kobolds thing? I think Tyler, yeah, you're in the Kobolds thing, right?
Nice.
And then we had Tyler running his world also recently on Monday Night Mayhem. So, you know, we anyone who's interested, we have Monday Night Mayhem where we like to welcome different GMs, try different systems, do different types of games, give people a shot. Your first time, bring it on. We'll put you on and we'll give you a cast and we'll let you rock and roll. We also have Heroes of Greyhawk, which Andy and I are playing in, and the Grand Maestro of Mayhem, Dave, is GMing, coming on Tuesday. This will be on Friday, 5 p.m., the continuing adventures of the Shadesong Saga. I am in the Bleakseason, your DM, and this is it for us. The well has ended. Come next week, Blackbirds Cry with whole new crew. Thank you very much. See you soon.